Hi and hello, everyone. It's Friday night of a long weekend, one of the best Friday nights you can have. Welcome.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm joined with my pal Voltaire. Just a reminder, this is the Power Hour, so it's a closed panel. Me and one friend, one panelist, so we could go through some topics. It's been a long work week. We all need a little break, right? And
The working man needs it. Yeah.
yeah, shout out to all those people that have given their life to the service of the country and families, that have also sacrificed for all of us,
Yeah.
and a day off and movie time. It's like you celebrate the people that, help this country. And then also you get a little day off, get a little reprieve, spend some time with your family, and think about what really matters.
Yeah. And don't
Yeah.
forget, it's Memorial Day. Don't forget to remember.
Right, right, right.
Mhm.
So shout out to all those that that are in the service or have sacrificed for it. Okay. So let's go through the chat here. It is Star Wars. I've been look, I was supposed to do
Oh my
this right
gosh.
away. I got blue milk at Walmart because I was like, oh, excited. I don't have to go to Galaxy's Edge to try it. And then me and my wife have been enjoying it. And I'm like, oh, I better do something with it before it's gone. So yes, Star Wars episode tonight. Please get those thumbs up there to support the Power Hour and to support Voltaire, who's yeah, came from the chat and is like one of the strongest members. Though I'm a really great supporter of the show and a valued panelist. Um, Very great insights. We had some great topics. We could even talk. I don't want to go too controversial, but we may even talk about a certain LawTuber tonight,
Mm.
just because it's in there, and it's a very sad situation. I don't wish ill will on anyone. Just to be sure, there, to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I wish the best for everyone.
Yeah.
So Rational says George Lucas is correct about his AI comments. Yeah, we'll get to that. Honestly, I'm surprised that George Lucas is this lucid because I saw some videos of him like walking around. He looked like he looked like he was having some memory problems and dementia type issues. I was really concerned because I'm a huge fan of George.
Right. Right.
But this interview, he was like seemed like on point and up with current issues in the entertainment industry. So it's like, okay, I was wrong. I'm glad to be wrong. You know, Maybe he just had a rough day or something, or he gets tired because he's an older man.
Yeah. I haven't seen it. I'm curious now. Hang on. That blue milk, does it just taste like 2% or whole milk, or does it taste like
It's
chocolate milk?
no, it doesn't taste like chocolate. It's True Blue. It's actually licensed by Disney Star Wars. I was surprised. I was expecting them to this would be an exclusive for the park, but no, you could get it at Walmart. I think this was $2.50.
So it tastes
Yep.
like regular milk. You could pour it on your
No,
cereal.
it doesn't taste like regular. It tastes
Oh, it
like
doesn't.
tastes a little different. It's like vanilla with some other flavors in there. I don't know.
Okay.
It's good. I enjoy it. I was surprised. I will try it again. I only had it a few times. My wife likes milk a lot, so she's been she's been handling that. She's like, yeah, I was surprised how good it was. Okay, so there's the me and my wife both enjoy it, and I would buy it again. I bought it as a novelty, but I would buy it just again.
Yeah. There
I
you go.
am now a financial expert and board certified psychologist. What are you talking about, Bruce? About our
Mm.
previous stream?
I think he's chipping at you there.
I know. I know that. That's a given. Last night was really good. We had a really good conversation. I do think that uh, progressives get stuck in their own mind space and don't realize what I talk to a lot of people every day. A lot of people, a lot of customers, and based on my 20 plus years in customer service and speaking with people, we talk, and I could tell. when people are suffering more than normal. I've worked customer service through some really like, with the housing crash.
Mm.
I've worked through some tough times, so I could tell when people are just doing, just the regular, oh yeah, bills stink and stuff, and when it's more elevated. And then I recognize the signs with uh video game companies are laying off, movie companies are laying off, um, restaurants are closing. I There's has to be room for in the middle. Like everyone's like, "Are you for a minimum wage increase, or are you big for these big corporations?" I'm like, I am, but it's never the company that loses money. It's always the consumer or the employees.
Hmm.
I mean, it's most of the time it is. There's some good companies out there. There's rare companies that really do a lot for their employees, but it's
Rarely.
usually passed on to the consumer. So I'm just like $20. It just ain't it. You're not going to be, you know,
Publicly traded
just like
companies.
everyone's like buy American made. I'm like, yeah, that's great. But then do you want to pay for American made for everything? Because if you really come down to it and you're at the checkout, most people will say, "Oh, this is cheaper."
Well, watch Shark Tank, and
Yeah.
all those inventors come on. They say, "Well, I make these in America. I want to continue making it in America," and the investors always say, "No, we can't do that.
Right,
Not
because
happening."
that eats into your profits.
Right? It's too
Now, I
significant.
I don't like the situation, but it is what it is.
That's
And you're
life.
competing with other people that are doing it.
Mm.
So you're gonna lose if you don't do the tactics of the other people, whether you like it or not, or the other companies. You're gonna lose,
Hmm.
you know? I have I feel like I'm more progressive, but I'm sure people are like, "Oh boy, Max is taking some pills on the internet, the red pills and all that other stuff." It is what I do feel like people are suffering right now, and
Yeah.
I feel like most of the income goes to necessities instead of entertainment, and I value the industry of entertainment. I appreciate that it exists. I put entertainers right up there with all the other workers out there. I love that's a big industry, but each segment of the industry is laying off people right now. So I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think the next jobs report's going to be great.
Mm.
Maybe I'm wrong, and I'll be like, oh, whew. But I feel like the jobs reports are going to get a little bit down, and then you're going to go right in the election, and people are going to be just surprised. I'm like, everything's fine, everything's fine. I'm like, oh no, you got to listen to people, even if you know. Okay, so let me put Callie away because she was barking. If you can hold down the
I can. So while you're gone, okay. So everybody, and we'll get out of this boring stuff, but the in the short term, between now and the end of the year, the stock market's going to do just very well because there are ways to manipulate the stock market from the federal government, and they're going to be very careful about that because they understand that that's an issue. But whatever. Um, Maybe it's time for a third party in this country. I really would like that at this point, but it's very hard to enter with the system we have. But we don't need to talk about boring stuff like politics. I know that isn't what everybody wants, and I don't know why you have to say Max needs to sleep. I mean, come on, people. This is not a good time for Max to sleep. Max is fired up, ready to go, and
what is everyone talking about? I had a good sleep tonight. I Listen. I'm always wrong. Okay, if Biden says that, and oh, the economy's great. Even if you think it's great, even if you think you have the facts, you got to be empathetic to people that are saying they feel this way, because even if you don't think the Republicans are going to fix it, they're at least listening to people now. Though there's reasons to do that, to say the other side's horrible, right?
yeah,
But you got to be empathetic to people that say they're suffering. You can't just say, "Oh, there's nothing's wrong here."
yeah,
It's totally out of touch. And this is what if you want you need to if you want to win and succeed, you have to get new people on your side. You know, you got to
mm,
reach new people, and it's just not working right now.
Grocery
whatever.
store is expensive. These are bad things. Gas is expensive. Grocery
Yeah.
store is
And
expensive.
I know Figure Drawing the other night was saying, well, you're talking about poor people. I'm saying more people are qualified from a poorer than middle class than a few years ago,
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm doing great, Isaac. Nice to see you. You know what, Isaac? I like that you changed your. Well, no, I don't like. I respect that you changed your avatar, but I'm so used to seeing the puppy dog. It confuses me a little bit. I'm not going to lie, buddy.
yeah, and if you're just getting here, please thumbs up the video. We are going to talk about movie topics. And there's lots of good things to look forward to. I hope. Well, let's start out with the maybe we will talk right now about the box office
Mm,
because um
early
I
numbers
don't I
for
don't yeah, or early numbers for
Garfield.
Furiosa and Garfield.
Yeah, Grace was tweeting about that. I know you're blocked, so you don't get to see that. But remember,
Uh,
everybody, Grace Randolph blocked Max. He is still blocked to this day. So tweet at Grace, unblock Max.
nah, I don't even care.
Let's put a hashtag unblock Max Grace.
Yeah. Well, here's what we're seeing. Let's see if do we feel this is now. I love Joe. Actually, I was really thinking about. I got to contact Joe because I was thinking I got to start seeing movies more. He sees movies,
He
and
sure
if there
does.
was ever like a weird modern day Siskel and Ebert that completely disagree all the time, we should try to do a review together and not tell each other ahead of time on a review. Do it
Yeah, you got
pre-recorded and call it Mad Crazy or something because Mad Max and Crazy Joe.
I'd love that. I think a
It,
lot of people would love
and just because I very rarely agree with Joe, and then if it passes both of our tests, that's going to be a good movie. And I was just like, it. And this is just sidetracked. I'm always thinking about my friends and the talent that we have, and Bruce is talented, you're talented, Anthony, Joe, RJ, Chris,
it. Bruce.
Perp,
Her.
all these people, and I always think like, how can I go to our strengths? And I'm just like, Joe's a good friend. We completely disagree on a lot of things, and that would just be interesting. And that would challenge myself too. So I got to contact Joe because you said that sounds like a good idea to you. Like if we go like Furiosa, he just was talking about Furiosa. I'm gonna try to see Furiosa, even though I kind of know what he's. I would like to go in blind, not knowing what he thinks ahead of time.
So yeah, I think like if you
And
guys
just hit
did like,
record.
yeah, if you guys did like 17-minute movie reviews between the two of you, and I
Yeah,
like that, mad crazy movie reviews or something like that. I
yeah,
think that would be good, and that would get you some hits. But you guys would have to have a time limit. I think like 17 minutes, 11 minutes,
yeah.
something like that. You know what I
And I
mean?
c I don't know if we could do the thumbs up because that's cheating, but, I don't know.
Hmm.
Some type of stamp of approval. I don't know. Stop it, Bruce.
Oh, come
You're
on.
just trying to get attention here. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to and if you're watching this on the clip out, because I am gonna clip out the box office, is this now I disagree with Joe. I don't think great movies are at the theater and people don't show up. I think good movies are at the theater and people don't show up, but I think if it's great, people show up most of the time. There's a rare occasion that a movie gets to theaters, becomes a cult classic, is amazing, and people don't see it. But it's rare, especially not franchise movies. Like if you're talking about like a big IP and it's a good movie, people will show up. Like if
Yeah.
Flash was really what James Gunn said it was, people would have been there. If it was one of the greatest superhero movies of all time, would it have got those numbers?
No, and you're in denial if you say otherwise. Quite
I
honestly.
think it was fun. I enjoyed it. It's a great experience for me. You know, I thought Ezra Miller was the surprise for that movie. I think Ezra did great.
Yeah. So look at that movie. I mean, it was not Shazam 2, which I think was a bad movie, not an entertaining movie. This Flash was an entertaining movie. but there was problems with it, and there was I think a lot of people stayed away because of Ezra, quite honestly.
Yeah, other reasons too. The James Gunn certainly didn't help. No, with the announcement of the slate,
Yeah, well, that's true too.
so it didn't help things. But let's examine. Let's see if we think the economy, inflation, is impacting the box office still. Listen to our pal Brian. He's open. Brian is he's a perfect example of the general consumer. And that's
Mhm.
no shade on him or anything, but he's like, "Yeah, if it's something cool, I'll go see it. I'll go pay it for see it. If it's something that's different and interesting." But he's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna spend money when there's not a lot of extra
No,
spending money right now." And
no,
he's like, "This ain't doing it for me. This is nothing new. I've seen this before." My wife also, when we were dating, we saw movies like all the time.
right.
Now she's kind of out of it. She's like, "I don't want to see another just average superhero movie." And she loves superheroes. She's just out of it too, you know?
Yeah.
So we can't be like the Democrats and the economy. I
Oh boy.
brought that in there and just say we're fine here. We're fine here. No, the general public, if I didn't do movie talk, maybe my superhero movie fatigue might set in a little bit more.
So this is very interesting because Furiosa. Okay, I know that there's Garfield there too, but Furiosa has the weekend to itself. It has Memorial Day
Yeah.
weekend to itself. So, and what was the last big blockbuster that came out? Right, like it's been a little bit. Right, it's time. People are, and it's the start of summer. People are wanting to get back to the movies. This is a real litmus, test, so to speak, for what this movie is because it's got all the opportunity in the world. How is there nothing else big being released this weekend?
It's Memorial Day, you know, is not like I think like Perp was saying, there's big movies released all year round now, but I think that's also diminished the Memorial Day thing because Memorial Day was like an event,
Yeah,
Memorial Day for the movies,
started
you
the
know?
summer blockbusters. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of diminished it, but I do think this slightly shows that people are I think some families are counting their dollars and quarters and money right now and saving it for cookouts and groceries and stuff.
Yeah, but so
I
this
don't
is
th- I don't th- I don't think this looks I don't think this is a good start. I don't think it's bad, but
no, but yeah, but here's why. One of the other reasons this is important. What you said about you and your girlfriend. This is a date movie. Like if there's a lot of couples, what they do is they go to movies. You know what I mean? I was like that with a lot of girlfriends and that kind of thing. And there's nothing this weekend. So what this movie does, it's got big actors in it,
mhm,
right? Is very telling.
mhm. I'm a little shocked at Garfield. I thought Garfield would be stronger. So Furiosa races to 3.5 million, while the Garfield movie snacks on 1.9 million. That's not like, you know,
Those numbers don't even seem right.
yeah. Um, Let me see. For comparison's sake, 2015's Mad Max Fury Road hit the wasteland with 3.7 million in May 2015, opening in second place with 45.4 million debut. Um, I don't know. It seems a little bit soft for me. It's a little soft. We're not going to know for sure until the Friday numbers come out for tomorrow, you know.
Yeah.
But that seems a little soft. I'm not in Garfield. I actually thought Garfield was going to do better than Furiosa. It's
Really?
been a while since we had a movie that's for everyone, like a family movie. That I'm not.
Yeah. Feels that way.
Yeah. So we'll see. Let me see. What's this Garfield review here? Let me see. Where was it? I had it. Oh, here it is. I want to see what Joe Blow says about it because I think it looked fun. I think the marketing was great, spoofing the other movies out.
Uh huh.
Garfield movie. This animation looks legit. Like, I really prefer this over. You know what's sad to think? That if this movie doesn't do good, just like the Smurfs finally the third Smurfs movie was just all in Smurfs land, not Smurfs in New York City. It seems like the stinking live action hybrids with CGI animated characters do better than full blown, really artistically well done animation. So I'm afraid that might be the case for this movie too, Voltaire. Like that the hybrids of just like shooting live action and throwing a CG character in there with cringy jokes might do better than a whole art team, great art direction, great styling, great voice actors. I'm afraid that might be the case, but let's see what this looks fun. Oh, 4! Not good. Wow. What? Okay, so to no one's surprise, the Garfield movie is a boring mess that completely misses the point of the character. I was surprised this got a theatrical release, as it feels like a streaming movie in every sense. The
Ooh.
animation feels cheap. I mean, I don't see that just from this picture, but okay. And most of the performances fall flat. When done right, animation can transport you into another world of wonder and magic. And when they're done wrong, they look like this. Pratt haters will be feasting on this one, which is good because Garfield sure as hell isn't. Wow.
Wow.
That was a road. Who wrote this? Is it someone that doesn't like Chris Pratt?
So
Tyler Nichols?
obviously, if
Yeah.
he references Pratt haters, I would think so. Yeah.
Oh man. Figure drawing says going to the theaters isn't cool anymore.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
interesting.
you're not wrong. It's not like I don't know. I think it is missing that cool factor. Especially when you get a bunch of teenagers that ruin it for you. And I don't want to feel like an old man yelling on my lawn, but I was this close, Voltaire, to going
Mm.
to say or something, but I'm like, it's not worth it, and you don't know what idiots are gonna
No,
do
no, no,
now
no, no.
because you got people hurting actors in New York who got Steve Buscemi
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
national treasure. He was one of he was a fireman, but and he really helped after 9/11 too. And he's a great actor. And why would you want to,
Yeah.
put
Everybody,
your hand
don't
in?
be a hero. Don't be a hero in public for something like that. You know what I
It's
mean?
not worth it,
Not for
right?
something like a
And
somebody
then
being
and
loud
then
in
I
the
felt like maybe I'll go get the management, but they're all young kids working there. I don't want to have them deal
just
with it
leave and
too.
ask for a refund if it's ruining your experience and come back another time. But don't confront these kinds of people. You don't know if you're going to run into
There was a
somebody
group
who,
of 10 teenagers.
yeah, okay, you never know what could happen, Max. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They don't know. Kids are stupid.
yeah.
But it's interesting what figure
You know
drawing
what
says.
I thought about doing? I
Mm.
thought about getting my phone out and recording them. I'm like, you need to calm down. I'm recording you. Behave. That's what I thought about too. Is that smart?
No, I don't think you should engage. I mean, honestly, you
They were
have
in
to
the
just
back. I'm like, this is recorded. Please be quiet. Everyone else paid for their tickets. I'm going to take this to management. And then there's just no dispute of what they were doing or not.
yeah, I mean,
And I'm
look.
like, I'm watching you, like Robert De Niro.
Yeah, well, okay, that would be worse. Did I ever tell you what happened when I saw The Matrix in the theaters when I was, what, 19, 20 years old with my girlfriend? And we saw it like it had already been out for a while. The theater was empty. It was later at night, like 9:30 showing or something. And the theater was pretty much empty. But then a gang of toughs, like 4 dudes and 2 girls, came and sat right behind us and started kicking our seats and doing all that kind of stuff. And I got to tell you, I looked at the guys, and any one of them I could have taken on my own one on one. But I just like, I was furious. I got up and I just grabbed my girlfriend. I go, let's go. And we went down away from where they were sitting, and it bothered me, but it was a smart move to make. It
Well,
was,
even with people that aren't intentionally being annoying, people are just loud talkers in the movie theater.
yeah.
They're like,
It's,
I'm like, it's not the previews. Please shut up. They're like, they're having a good time. They're not trying to be annoying. They just are not. People are just naturally annoying anymore.
yeah. And they don't
Maybe it's
care.
maybe it's YouTubers' fault. They feel like they got to comment in it. Not when I'm in a freaking movie. You know,
Well, and
I,
also
I I when I have friends over and watching a movie in my home, that's different. Not
yeah.
at the movie theater.
And you got to remember, some people do stuff because they want somebody to say something to them so they can do something. You know what I mean? teenagers in the theater acting tough or acting loud. They want like, hey, that 40-year-old guy who they think is an old man, right? Said something to me and we whatever, we
Oh
told them.
yeah, people that are. I don't even eat at the theater.
Wow,
I just want to watch the
I'll
movie.
forgive that.
Yeah.
People
No,
got
if they're like the whole, eating the whole freaking time, it's different if you have like, I need something real quick. But if you hear them the whole movie rustling rappers and stuff, I'm like, dude.
So, yes, it was a smart move, figure drawing, but it bothered the hell out of me for weeks. And I talked to my girlfriend. I was like, man, that bothered me. And I feel like you look at me different. She's like, no, I would have been mad if you tried to fight those guys. Well, I was I was, a young man, but like I had to suck it up. But it was tough. Yes, they were a gang of toughs. Yes.
Gang of tough.
They came in like a third of the way into the movie and they were just like, blah, 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 and kicking our chairs. Like, they wanted me to say something because they had 3-4 guys that would have jumped me. You know what I mean? That's what they were looking for.
Yeah. Hey, Cal, how's it going?
Hey,
Appreciate
bud.
you joining us. We're gonna switch to Star Wars talk, but let's kick it off by. Now, I was gonna do this video on my phone for a short when it was fresh, when we just bought it. This is True Blue Star Wars milk.
Mhm.
It's not exclusive to Galaxy's Edge. This is great in this inflated, the inflation-ridden economy. You don't have to go to you don't have to just close your eyes. It's like you're at Galaxy's Edge already. Thank you, Kathy Kennedy. This is a win for Kathy Kennedy, providing licensing for milk at Walmart for $2.50.
Yeah. So look,
Yeah.
Max, tomorrow you got to drive to Walmart, buy a fresh bottle, put on a white tank top, and just sit there and drink it from the bottle. Just go ahead, Luke Skywalker, the whole thing like from Return of the Jedi, and go out. Oh, here we go, everybody.
Now, if this is what Luke Skywalker experienced on what was that planet in Last Jedi, I understand why he went straight to the source. Because
here we go. Oh yeah. Look at that.
I'm trying to get on my beard.
Hmm. Then you got to do the wipe.
Or how did Luke do it?
You went the other way, but yeah, that's fine. There you go. That's the one. All right, everybody. Where else are you going to get this kind of content? Come on.
This is inflated economy Galaxy's Edge. I've got to put it into my green screen. Yeah, I should have put Galaxy's Edge behind me.
You got to
just like
we'll get another bottle.
It's very good. It's very good. I'd highly recommend it.
All right.
Good. All right, I'll allow that one. You're milking this segment. Ha ha ha.
That's a dad joke, but it's a good one.
Check that expiration. It's good. It's actually good. It's like a vanilla milk. It doesn't taste like milk. I mean, it doesn't taste. It's not the flavor of just regular milk. It's not like chocolate milk. It's like vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I came for movie news. I stayed for the milk. Yes. Mm-hmm. This is so fat. My wife is reminding me we're going to the food truck festival tomorrow, which is cool.
Does she know you just finished off the last of the blue milk?
Yeah, she's just like, remember to get to sleep so we're not late tomorrow. That's all.
Well, food truck festivals are fun.
I've never been. There's going to be like 50 food trucks.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So George Lucas. Oh no, that's what I wanted to bring up first. Reactions to the Acolyte, which I am really, really looking forward to. And were you here the other stream when we were talking about first there was the Empire, then there was a Menace, and then there was
I saw that. I thought it was a fake promo, but it turns out you guys said it was.
Yeah,
Disney.
I'm really looking forward to this. I don't care that Leslie Headland is political on Twitter.
So hang on a second. From a marketing standpoint, everybody, why isn't this thing premiering this weekend over a long weekend? Like, think about it. It's premiering soon. I think it's premiering on the 4th or something like that. I don't understand these companies. There's a long weekend. why not go ahead and you're going to put out, I think they're putting out the first 2 episodes. Why not premiere it during a long weekend? But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, that would be good. But I'm looking forward to it. I probably want to do a watch party for this. When is it? Next week in June?
I thought it was June 4th, but
June 4th. Okay. First social media reactions to the Acolyte celebrate dark mystery, superb performances, and stellar action in the new Star Wars series. Here, I don't know what this is. Let me see. Oh, that's probably going to get me a claim there. Whatever.
oh, come on.
On a organ there. Okay, so Joseph Deckelmeyer. Let me see here. The Acolyte gives me Kill Bill vibes. That sounds cool.
Okay.
Every episode left me wanting more in a good way. We've seen so much about the fall of the Jedi, but this show explores what the Jedi were like during peacetime, which is quite fascinating. Amandla Stenberg is outstanding. So, well, I mean, it was peacetime till this show happened, right? It's not going to be peace in the show. That's going to be boring, right? There was peace until the Acolyte showed up.
I think that's the whole point.
Yeah. Rational. I have my mother. Even though you're interrupting my segment too. Thank you, Rational.
And
Even though,
hang on, let me just because Cal's got an AMA question. Yes, no, that's it. And I love you too, brother. I enjoy I love when you're in the chat too.
yeah. Thanks, Cal, for the
Or
you know about that.
not just yes, always, man, always.
Yeah.
And never. How about that? That's the answer to the questions. Always and never.
Okay.
Mhm.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, what was I saying? I lost track now.
Yeah, I did too. We were talking about. Oh, we were talking about in peacetime. Would it be boring to see Jedi's in peacetime?
Oh yeah. Well, obviously there's something, something starting with the Acolyte. So yeah, I don't want a big piece. Do you really want to watch the Jedi Council in peacetime? That would be the boringest show ever. Like if you're thinking about the prequels with Yoda, Mace Windu, they just be
Yeah.
like sitting this the whole time, nothing going on. That would be the
No,
most
I need to
boring
see
thing
Jedi's
ever.
fighting.
Yeah.
I like some of that, but I want to see some Jedi action. And this is what the trailers have shown us a lot of Jedi action, which I think has been missing from some of these series, truthfully.
Yeah.
This is why I'm excited about it.
The Acolyte is the force sensitive version of Andor. The cast is stellar. The writing of each episode is jam packed. Practical sets and amazing costumes, as well as special effects work, make every location feel lived in.
Okay. So that's not a good review to me because Andor, as everybody was praising it, like the writing and the direction was great, the show was slow and boring. So no, I don't want a force sensitive, slow and boring show. So that's not necessarily a good review, but I'm
I
sure this
do
guy
kind of
wasn't.
want more action out of this.
Yeah, I
We'll
want
have an
Jedi action, hot
intentional
Jedi
through
action.
line to keep it focused. I will say, like this new actress, they say she's amazing. She could be. Can I be real? Like a lot of these sites really push new characters. Like I'm sure she's great. I don't have a reason to like be excited about her yet, but I'm really excited about Carrie Ann Moss and the guy from Squid Games,
Yeah.
and there.
Well,
But
how
they're
can you not
they're
like
like
the
really
girl?
pushing this Amanda Sand. I'm not saying she's bad or anything. I'm just like, okay, I get it. You're really pushing that she's great. We'll see.
No,
It's definitely possible.
and how can you not love Trinity from The Matrix and the guy from
Yeah.
Squid Games? Like these are big characters. And earlier, I think Rational asked you, do you think Yoda will appear? If they're smart, I can't imagine they don't put Yoda in this at least a
And
little.
and this isn't to say this isn't like the anti-SJWs. People hate Brie Larson or something. There's just something about that likable factor, which you get with like
No,
Carrie Ann Moss or the guy
sure.
from Squid Games. He's like instantly likable. He's got something. You
It's
can't put a
charisma. Yeah.
It's charisma, yeah.
Mhm.
So that you're immediately getting that from some of the cast. And I know some out there like the Leslie Headland to you, Voltaire, could potentially be annoying how aggressive of a feminist and social media she does, but as long as she produces a good show, do you care? No.
No, there's a lot of chick fighting in the trailers, but I'm
Yeah.
still going
I
into it with
I
an open mind.
I don't care how much, because people all over the say are annoying about their opinions on Twitter and stuff. I don't care. As long as it's a good movie or good show, I don't care.
Yeah,
But this looks
absolutely.
good to me. Looks tight. So this is one of my most anticipated. I'm not saying like if I really was looking forward to Ahsoka, and we're Rosario Dawson fans, right?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
fan club. So I was really looking forward to Ahsoka, but I'm almost like, would I look forward to Ahsoka season 2 more of this? That's how anticipated this
Well,
is.
that's fascinating that you say that because I was pumped for Ahsoka, but
Mhm.
after seeing Ahsoka 1, I have to say I'm a little more excited for this
Okay.
than Ahsoka 2.
That's the only reaction. That's it. There's 2 reactions. That's it. Oh my goodness.
I mean, is that a good sign or a bad sign?
No, this is Joe Blow not really doing a lot for this article. This is pretty shallow article. I mean, this is the times too. People don't read the whole, you know. Let me see if I could find any more. I'm going to Google it because I want to hear what more people have to say.
Let's see if there's been some early reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. There has not. Wow.
Let me
How come
see.
there hasn't been by now? They should have given it to people to watch. Like
Well,
they
you know
should.
what? Remember, you know Perry Nemiroff?
No.
She used to be on Collider. She did a little 2-minute video. Let's just watch that.
Yeah, okay.
Because I can't find a lot of other people. I'll bring up a reaction here of Perry Nemiroff, the only person that was able to stay a Collider. I don't know what that means. And she is, when you go to the movie theater, she has like a promo in front of the movie sometimes for like certain movie chains and
Mm,
like interviewing people. More power to her. I'm
yeah.
subscribed.
But
Uh,
she is Access Media, everybody.
yeah, definitely Access Media. And when everyone else got laid off at Collider, she got to stay somehow. Oh, Rational, I have to go over to, that's what I was going to say. Even though my mother and father are out of town at the lake, uh, my mother's like, "You have to go to the house. This delivery wasn't supposed to get to the next Tuesday. She got a bunch of stuff delivered. I have to go right after this and go put the things in the house." She's like,
Tonight?
"Yeah, that's the way my
And then
mom
you gotta
is."
come back and sleep before the food truck?
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm a busy man.
I
Busy
guess
man.
so.
I did get a good nap in after work though.
Alright.
I slept almost all the way up till 10 p.m. and then I jumped out of stream. Okay, so let's see what Perry Nemiroff says. I don't want you to
Of the
me with your intro music, Perry. Okay.
episodes of The Acolyte, and am very, very pleased to tell you that thus far, this show's a pretty big winner for me. The cast of characters, the heavy emphasis on practical effects, the
That's what someone else said in the
That's
Joe Blow.
positive.
No, I love that.
I love practical.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have no shade towards Perry, Cal. I'm just saying it's like it's weird that she was the only one of the only ones that stayed. That's all.
impeccable stunt work and
I mean,
choreography.
it's not a. She seems like a company person. Like the management goes, stick do whatever man. Some people
Yeah.
are like that
No
and they have
shame.
success with her, and she's got those
No shame.
connections. So more power to her.
If I was Access Media, I would do everything I could to remain Access Media. It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Let's see here.
And also, in particular, how the show is exploring what it means to be a Force user and also how the Jedi Order operates. It's all working extremely well thus far. Amanla Stenberg, I think, is the type of headliner that a story like this really, really needs. She's got her plate mighty full with this project, and I find that she's just absolutely soaring while
This again, it's this is why people get sometimes annoyed by Access Media, though they sound all similar, but it's very plausible that she is really good. I don't know. I didn't see anything from not that I'm suggesting they're doing that because she's a diverse. She represents diversity in Star Wars and a new character and a villain. I'm not suggesting that that's whether propping her up or anything, but they seem to be saying the same thing over and over and over again. She is going to be, I assume she's the title character, the Acolyte, right? That's her.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, if she's calling her the headliner, that's interesting.
Yeah. So so I'm not doubting it because of that, or because she represents a diverse casting, which is great. I'm for. It's just because in the trailers, I'm not saying she was bad in the trailer, but she wasn't the most exciting thing in the trailer. Maybe some of her moves a little bit, you know.
Mm.
I'm not throwing shade. I'm not throwing shade at anybody. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not being a real articulate right now, Voltaire.
No, I
But
get it. I get it.
from the
But Jade
trailers,
is throwing shade at Grace over here with this comment, obviously.
well, this isn't Grace. This is Perry.
No, but this is a comment towards Grace. At least she can brush her hair. Grace doesn't, and doesn't have a room temperature IQ. I think Grace is referencing or Jade is referencing Grace there.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what the trailers were great. I'm rooting for Amanda Sandberg, I think is her name. I
Uh-huh.
just, nothing in the trailer is like, that character's amazing to me yet. But I hope
No,
the movie. Mhm. Oh, Joe, me and Voltaire were workshopping. We got to get together on a review idea, Joe, because see, you can't tell me. See, this is the thing, Joe. If we do a review series, me and you, because we have such different opinions, we can't tell people we can't tell each other what we think until we hit record. So I can't know if you dislike it or not. I got to talk to you
So,
about
Joe, the
that.
concept is like a 13-minute video between you and Max called "Mad Crazy Movie Reviews." You both review a new movie,
And we don't tell each other what we think ahead of time until we hit record.
Right.
Because I don't ever know what you're gonna think sometimes. Okay, so let's see what else she has to say. But it's the similar talk. Maybe that's just it. Maybe Amanda Sandberg's just amazing, and that's a good thing. I hope that's accurate. I hope that's accurate. I just haven't seen that part from the trailers yet. She did some cool action, but that's about it. Maybe they let off on the previews, and you get more of the context than the show of her. So
tackling that challenge. Also, I could watch her do fight scenes for hours and hours. The grace and precision with which May fights makes that kind of combat, one, especially exhilarating and mesmerizing to look at, but it also ensures that every single beat within those scenes serves the character and gives the audience further access to how the wheels in her head are turning. And
now that scene was cool. I gotta admit, that part of the trailer was cool.
He makes decisions like that in the moment. In general, with Star Wars, I really love analyzing and also tend to fall quite hard for stories that put a heavy emphasis on exploring the space between pure light and pure dark. And
wow, she really fits a lot into 2 minutes and 50 seconds. We're only halfway through her little reaction here. She puts a lot. Congrats, Perry. That's a lot of info right there. But everything she's saying, this is the things I want to hear. Special, action, practical effects. A good storyline about the Jedi. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay.
That's a particular department that thus far Acolyte seems especially rich in, digging into the different relationships there are with the Force, what it means for one to have that kind of power, and also figuring out how they choose to wield it. The last point I'll make in this reaction is that I really loved all 4 episodes. I truly thought all of them were great. Episode 3, however, is, I'd say it's sensational in my book. I thought it looked great. It features loads of high quality craftsmanship, but the element of it I was especially taken by was the really stirring display of raw human emotion and complexity. I think it makes that episode an especially strong watch, and I also loved how it wound up bolstering all the other episodes as well.
Okay, episode 3. I
Okay,
can't.
Yeah.
This is getting me hype. This is getting
me
hype.
this is a hype review. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is I might check out Perry's reactions to stuff more because this is a lot more detailed than the social media reactions. I don't even know how she got to release this. There's not too many people that put this out yet. That's how access media she is out there.
Yeah, that's interesting because she's seen the first 4 episodes. She
Yeah.
just said.
Yeah.
So how come we haven't got a bunch of these?
I don't know.
That is where I will leave you with my Acolyte reaction. Obviously, there's still loads more to come. So maybe when I have finished the full season, I will circle back and we will discuss it even more.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do I make content like that? That's awesome.
You have to be a shill. Look I'm optimistic about this, but why is she the only one producing a video about this? Why is that's
See, I engage with my video. Like I leave likes. I have over 5,000 likes in my YouTube like history. Yeah.
I didn't know there was such a thing you could track.
Yeah, it shows how many likes I have. Over I don't know the exact number. Just as over 5,000.
Max is not a hater, everybody.
No, I want everyone to succeed. Joe says I always expected Acolyte to be good because Leslie Headland has a strong track record, but I'm not crazy about Jedi stories. Oh, that's why you like Rey. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, Joe. Just kidding, Joe. That makes a lot of sense as why you're such a Rey fan.
He's not here to defend himself.
I know, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer the scoundrels of Star Wars. You are a scoundrel, Joe. And I sent you the second of 3. Check your PayPal. My mother is really just so you guys know, my mother is really anticipating Joe's selling me a Blu-ray player that has a VHS in it. So it has VHS, DVD, all in one thing.
Wow.
And my dad stole the Blu-ray player for the cottage. So there's no Blu-ray player. So she really needs it now. All she has is the VHS that I got her. VHS player for now. So she's like, really? She's like, when are you getting it? I'm like, well, it's going to be the end of June, Mom, because I'm going to go visit him. Okay, what does he say? Luke and Rey don't count as Jedi because they were raised after the Jedi Order. Luke and Rey are cool. Well, that, okay. He doesn't like strict established Jedi Council stuff like in the prequels. Okay.
He's anti-establishment, yeah.
Yeah. I get that. So let's also look at George Lucas. Now, George Lucas, I saw some video clips of him. I was really getting concerned about his mental well-being. He looks like, because I have a lot of experience with family where, unfortunately, dementia, losing the mind a little bit, and you don't know what's going on. He really looked out of touch with reality in some scenes I saw him, and people were just like shuffling him across, and there was like people saying George, 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 and he looked like he didn't know what was going on. But now he is doing an interview, apparently, talking about Star Wars. So I will bring that up. Bruce was texting me all day. He was so happy with George's comments. He's like, those Star Wars fanboys, George is dunking on them. I don't have the article up, but it says Variety. George Lucas responded to criticism. Oh, wait, no. George Lucas rejects Star Wars critics who think all the first 6 films are all white men. Most of those people are aliens. That's actually against what the progressive end of Star Wars fans.
Right, a lot of people complain
we need more representation. So I don't know what you mean by that, Bruce. And then he's like, bam, he just dunked on all the Star Wars crybabies. But that's actually progressives. We need more. We don't need just white men in Star Wars. That's that was the argument, right?
Yeah.
There was a lot of now they're just a lot of the villains. That's facts. There's still white men in Star Wars too, but the majority of them are the villains.
Well, that's Marvel too,
or British.
Yeah.
British villains. There's a long history of using British talent for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But let me see.
Except for some reason they didn't want what's his name, Finn, to use his British accent.
Yeah.
Which I thought was interesting. John Boyega was not. He's not allowed. He wasn't allowed to speak with a British accent in Star Wars. Why?
We know Talati. We know Talati. We know you're a villain. No, I'm just kidding. So here's some other comments. George Lucas says original sequel ideas for Star Wars sort of got lost when Disney took over. Sort of got lost. Kathy Kennedy. I didn't see that. That's hilarious. They sort of got lost.
Well, that's one way to put it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm surprised he's making interviews right now. I think he was just going to ride off into the sunset. I honestly didn't think you're going to hear from him again, like interview wise, like just pop up, just enjoying things. Okay, so according to the Hollywood Reporter, Lucas would offer some retrospective about his career. Well, he was accepting an award. Okay, he felt nostalgic about attendees at Con, which is where he was presented his first feature THX 1138 at the Directors Fortnight in 1971. He would also, let me just get to the quote. I was the only one who really knew what Star Wars was, who actually knew this world, because there's a lot to it. The Force, for example. Nobody understood the Force. When they started other ones after I sold the company, a lot of ideas that were in the original sort of got lost. But that's the way it is. You give it up, you give it up. That's better. He's come to terms more than remember the Charlie Rose interview?
Yep.
Giving it away to, I'm not going to repeat it here to. So he still has a little bit of salt in there though, things got lost.
Well, if what happened in that Bob Iger book is true, that he sold them a treatment thinking that they were going to use it, and then they didn't.
That's his fault though. That wasn't part of the contract.
He really thought they were going to use it, So
they were probably like, "Oh yeah, George, this is a way." I could see Bob, not just Kathy, Bob and Kathy, like, you're gonna be able to have fun, George. We're gonna give you as a consultant. This is gonna be the most amazing thing ever. You're gonna be able to be in the audience to watch Star Wars instead of, with your children. I could see all that. I'm not saying that did happen. I'm just saying
no, that happened.
They sold him a line. They sold him a line.
They sold him a line and said, "You get all that. We'll take your input, and you get $4 billion, George. Go enjoy it." And he took it.
Joe, he actually expertly addressed the criticisms from the Phantom Menace when people were like, "Oh, midichlorians." They was focused on less and less in the Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So during the making of the trilogy, he handled that. I don't think he would have. He would have figured it out. He would have figured it out. All right, let me see what else he says. The 80-year-old director ultimately concluded with the crowd at the Bussy Theater at Con. I'm a stubborn guy, and I didn't want people to tell me how to make movies. That's all that's in there. Okay. And then the comment about, what do you think about his comment? All white men, there's aliens in there.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't notice a lack of diversity in the prequel series. What do you want me to tell you? I didn't notice a lack of diversity. Was there a lack of diversity?
There could have been more. There was some.
I mean, if you include that leading women characters as a lack of diversity, I guess so. But that's not just him. That's most action films. You know what I mean? So it's tough for me to say that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's George. Oh, I didn't want to end on a negative note. I guess we'll talk about, unfortunately, I've been debating whether to cover this or not because...
That means you should.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm not going to be afraid to say his name. Bricada Law is a pretty big lawyer YouTuber, very anti-SJW.
He was the number one law YouTuber, in my opinion, and he was the best at it, by the way. He was very good at it.
You've watched his stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a lawyer.
Occasionally.
So I was interested in law YouTube. And of all the law YouTubers, he was number one. Nate the lawyer is number two, in my opinion. You know what I mean? But yeah, he was number one. Now, his rise to fame came during the pandemic and stuff with the Kyle Rittenhouse trials and then the Johnny Depp trials. You know what I mean? That's where he really blew up.
Mhm.
But go ahead. Just for background.
No,
for-
he says some aggressive things, ignorant stuff, but I mean, I don't hate him or anything, and I don't. This is where also the trajectory of the channel that I decided to go, well, going to more conventions and events where you hang out with real fans that aren't grumpy all the time.
Yeah.
And then realizing internet, what a sickness it is. This is why I decided to move away, and this is why I'm like almost like, should I cover this or not, from that segment of YouTube fan base, because this person obviously has problems, which I'll show here. Well, first off, Degrassi, not cool. That's not Gary from Nerdrotic.
It kind of looks like it.
That is funny. But and shout out to Degrassi. He doesn't come around here no more. I don't know why, but he's a full-blown YouTuber now on Aaron World Order and some other places. So more
good.
power to you, Degrassi. But he says, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. F him. You
Okay.
pay for what you get. Who's next? He says. Who's next? Now, I'm not going to show the full clip because it's not, it's not appropriate. He was obviously not in his right mind here.
So some people are saying that this was a work, as they say in wrestling. Like this was
I don't think so.
Real. You don't
No,
think
I
so?
don't think so. No, look at his face. This guy is lost substance abuse.
Yeah.
This guy is moments away from not living.
Yeah. So as a
I
prequel,
mean, days away. Days away.
So as a prequel, he said that he's admitted to drinking, a whole bottle of
isn't just
scotch in a
drinking.
day, and then eating like a small bag of Cheetos, like a mini bag of Cheetos and a mini Snickers, because he's worried about his weight.
But the people that watch, even his own fan base, this is why this is the dark side of internet and YouTube, because it's so about the memes and the laughs and the lulls and lolcows, and this man is destroying his life. And then there's also enablers, like there's people that I don't want to throw shade at Vito and what's the other guy that Ricada hangs out, Dick Masterson. They didn't like tell him to do these things, but they, you could, if there's something to be said to laughing about someone when they're doing things that you'd be like, a responsible adult, you'd be like, check yourself, man. It's not, it's great for a live stream and show when your audience.
Yeah.
And I am saying something about their audience. They like to watch people mess themselves up.
Yeah.
And that's why I got it. That's why I got away from it. It's gross. Like what they're doing to him. What am I walking a fine line for? What do you mean? I don't like that they're laughing at him destroying his life. I don't like what he says. I don't like what he does, but this man needs help.
Yeah.
No, I'm not blaming them. I'm not blaming them for it, but they're kind of like consistently straining with it. You would tell he's not doing well.
Well, so what Max is trying to say, I'm going to help. Max is trying to say these people celebrate the demise, and they kind of like highlight the demise.
It's funny. Oh, he's going to make money off this or something.
Right.
That's
like it's a work.
I did see that on social media. Oh, look, he's going to make a lot of money winning. I'm like, no, this man's destroying his life. He's got children. So
I'm not familiar with legal also just to say, everybody, he actually reached a level of success. He was a real lawyer. Yeah. He got, I know it's Rumble.
Well, he might lose
a big contract with Rumble. Go ahead.
So here, this is not a well man. That's all I'm going to show
no,
there.
He's
okay.
Not well.
No, and that's not. I don't think this is manufactured at all. No, look at that. So I actually am happy that law enforcement went there. So hopefully that's a wake-up call and he gets help.
The story is that some pastor who worked with his neighbors or something like that knew about the kids and reported it. So what he was arrested for, everybody, is drug possession and some kind of weapons charge. Now, the weapons charge, you're allowed to own a weapon if it's legally registered. So that implies he had, cocaine or whatever drug and an illegal weapon.
Yeah.
Now, for a man who is an attorney, and he's representing himself and his wife.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
As they say.
No, I don't care if you're. What doesn't always make sense to get in a situation
The old
like this,
saying is,
where you don't look well. Wouldn't it be great to get, in your opinion, wouldn't it be great to reach an outside?
the old saying is, Max, the man who represents himself has a fool for a client. So I wouldn't represent myself in court unless it was like a small claims thing. And even though I'd want to, but he's representing himself apparently. And it's a gun and drug charge. This is bad. He's not doing good.
And he's in a legal battle that he's losing, apparently, about defamation.
Is that right? I wasn't aware of that.
Is just so I can ask, is he in danger of losing his being kicked out of the bar or something?
Oh yeah. The bar has ethics committees. Every state's bar has ethics things. Like they always say, like there's a joke amongst lawyers. Like if you're out at a restaurant, the lawyer limit is like 2 drinks, because anything else you're going to get pulled over for a DUI and you'll lose your license. You know what I mean? So the lawyer limit is 1 drink, or some people like me, I won't drink and drive at all because of the lawyer limit. I won't even have 1 drink, even if I'm not, you know what I mean? Because I'm so scared of losing my license, and then you can't make money, So yeah, you get arrested for drugs and a gun charge. You are very much in peril of losing your license. But I don't think he cares about his license. He's not practicing.
So all I will say is, even though I really don't like what his content, like especially when he uses certain derogatory terms towards other people, or very prejudiced against other lifestyles, I do not like to see anyone destroy themselves, and it's really gross to me of all the stuff I've seen from his own fan base of just like, look at this, and that's why I've kind of strayed away from that now. I'm just like, this, the internet. I'm not saying, they say Twitter's toxic and stuff. It's what you make it, just like everything in life. You can find cool stuff, like we do Good News at Twitter, which people think is a joke. No, you can find fun stuff, and I don't get as many followers. You get way more followers throwing heat on Twitter and just throwing hot takes out all day.
Yeah.
But if you just retweet, oh, there's a cool indie video game, there's this news story, it's a lot more. It helps you. It feels better for the soul. But I don't like this part of the internet and YouTube where you laugh at people destroying their lives. He might not get to see his children, which hopefully the children are okay. Honestly, that's a best case scenario for those kids too, because at least the way it was going, in my this is just speculation. In my opinion, if he didn't reach rock bottom where the police were involved, I don't think they would have parents at all, based on those images I've seen in a few months. Whereas hopefully now they'll get help and maybe eventually get sober where they could see their kids again. But they, that's my interpretation. He looked horrible, and I have at least a way to say this because I lost a friend to an overdose.
Yeah, if you're a person in your
my childhood friend relapsed during the pandemic, and we lost them. And I still have the tech. I've shared this before. I still have the text message on my phone that said, "Hey, we should hang out." That was the last message. So,
and sadly, we all know somebody. Most people in their life have somebody who's fallen to addiction.
But this is the weird part of the internet where people like get their popcorn and like. I'm like, those images are painful to look at me. Like I was like, should I even show that? I didn't want to show the whole thing. It's just like, yeah.
No, the whole thing is very. You're not showing anything, Max. You're not being sensationalist at all.
No, I hope he gets the help, and if he was doing something illegal, of course, be accountable. If he was doing something illegal, hopefully he wasn't doing anything. Hopefully he get his stuff together, and internet fame is not what it makes, is not what it's made out to be either. Is the other lesson from here, I think. He made a lot of money on the internet.
This is what's fascinating to me. He made it. Like,
Yeah.
most lawyers, as I said before, most lawyers have a little bit of showman in them, and they would rather be a showman somehow, and he did it.
Besides my work, what I do for work, I'm already living like I'm a millionaire. What would I be doing? This is how I like to think. I like to think, what would I be doing if I was a millionaire or billionaire now? I'd still be wanting to watch movies on VHS on a CRT or go to the lake or something. Besides what I have to do to make a living and support my family, I say live the way you would be a billionaire in your mind and do what you want to do, as long as it's not hurting anyone else.
Well, that's the quote. That's the
And it's really not as bad as you think, really, because even people that have a lot of success financially, look what's happening. That doesn't it all? Yeah, it's the old saying. It doesn't bring happiness. Money doesn't bring happiness.
That
Just
cliche is true, everybody.
it is true. Yeah, do what makes you happy. Don't hurt anyone else, and it's not all it's cut out to be. Yeah.
First of all, how dare you, Bruce? For yes, this is a power hour. So that's the old quote from Office Space. Yeah, have you ever seen the movie Office Space?
Yes.
Remember, he said, remember your guidance counselor asked you, what would you do if you got $1 million? And then if they say, well, whatever you say you do, you should start doing it now. There's a lot of truth to that. So what you said, Max, like, what would I do if I was a billionaire?
I'd still be playing video games, talking about movies.
That's
my wife would be living it up. Her lifestyle would probably be more different. She'd be like, I'm going to the spa,
But that's the kind of attitude everybody should aspire to, Yeah. And look, Nick Rekieta, he reached the level of success. I don't know how much money was in that Rumble contract, but it was good, apparently. People were competing for his services. And, look what happened to him. It wasn't enough for him. It didn't make him happy, So I hope he gets help, like you said. I'm not mocking him. That's terrible.
No, and as much people like to throw shade, lots of people have different types of addictions. It could be food, be spending. I spend money. I have to watch myself a lot. Fortunately, my CRT was $10 this time. But no, there's all kinds of addictions. So don't cast stones either, because there's a lot out there. But I hope things improve, and I don't want to see, no matter how much I dislike their opinions and how nasty they could be with their language. I don't want anyone to suffer like that. I really thought when we were on the stream the other day, I didn't want to cover it, and I thought he was gone. I didn't think he got arrested. I didn't look into it. I thought he was, because I got he's enough on the internet. You see his face pop up a few places, and I just like, oh, this is not looking good. Okay, but I guess that's all we'll comment on that. And
anybody, and like Max said, there's all kinds of addiction. It could be food, it could be whatever. And the people who are suffering from that, they're not happy. They're having a hard time, and they could use help. They all need help. None of them are happy. So always remember.
Zeno has all the info there. I'm not going to highlight it, but okay, wow, Zeno knows a lot about it.
Oh, does it?
Money buys comics makes me happy. Well, yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I heard that. Okay, yeah, that was April Imholt, who her husband is also a YouTuber. I mean, what Zeno's saying is whatever he's talking about. So that's the other thing. This is all YouTubers. So Nick Rekieta and his wife apparently got into some shenanigans with a smaller YouTuber and his wife.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I'm saying. There's some hot tub videos of them together, if you know what I'm saying. So that woman left her husband and moved in, or was with Nick and his wife when they all got arrested for drugs and the gun charge. And one of the rumors is that the other YouTuber called the cops on them, or tipped the cops off.
Well, I did see a clip of the other YouTuber saying we need to get control of this, and they just dismissed him.
Yeah.
Which that would be very upsetting if that was your wife involved with that chaos. Oh my God.
Well, he also was, if they were engaging in that kind of
Well, he
party.
was trying to stop it. He was like, "This is getting out of hand."
This is what that's his
That's
side,
what
right?
yeah. But he looked a lot better than Nick.
Well,
In the
that's
video,
he
he
looked all
seemed like
messed
he was in his right mind. He
up.
seemed
I've seen him.
healthy
He doesn't
looking.
look all
Yeah. So I tend to believe him based on what I saw the video clip.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, Zeno, that part. But yeah, if they're addicted to other things, hey,
Whatever floats your boat.
if it's done in love, whatever. This just in. Let me bring this up. Actually, let me do this. We're gonna do mailbag. Good news of Twitter, mailbag. Maybe good news of Twitter. I don't know. I have to get over to my mom's. But let me do this first here.
Breaking news!
The most reliable source for how a movie's gonna do just came in. The cinema score. Now people have difference of opinions on Rotten Tomatoes and everything, but when I see a cinema score and it's below a certain letter grade, I don't think it's gonna do well. So B plus.
Yeah, Grace has taught us.
Yeah. So, and there are things to garner from Rotten Tomatoes as well. When the audience and the critics are both positive, it's probably going to be a pretty good movie. But this and Joe's reaction, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be that great of a movie. I don't know if this franchise is going to be on. Yeah, Anthony Beltry put this in the Twitter DMs. Cinema score B plus. That's not great. I don't think it's going to have good legs now. Honestly.
Yeah.
B plus is not. I mean, it's not horrible.
No, it's confusing because for cinema score, B plus is I can't remember. It's like not that great, even though it's a B plus.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I learned about.
Thanks, Zeno. I appreciate that. I didn't want to go a whole deep dive on it. Zeno, I don't need you know everything about it. Okay, so this is breaking news because I was expecting a little bit better from this, so I just thought I don't think it's going to reach its goals, and I don't know if you're going to still get that other projects that George Miller was talking about. Joe, oh my goodness. Cinema score is not accurate anymore. It's a worthless metric. No, it's not, Joe. No, it's not. I completely disagree with you, and that's why I got to work on you on reviews. Maybe if I could see Furiosa, we'll try this like 13-minute review that me and Voltaire workshopping. Crazy mad reviews or mad crazy reviews, because I've witnessed that cinema score really shows if the movie's going to have legs or not into the second and third weekends. And if it's anything less than A minus, it seems to have a bigger drop off.
Well,
I've witnessed. I watched Movie Math. I watched Grace Randolph. This is one of more accurate metrics.
Yeah.
Metrics for these are cinema scores supposed to be paying customers, I believe. So I put a lot of stock in this. I mean, what's your thoughts on it, Voltaire? Do you?
So, I didn't understand cinema score until the lovely Grace Randolph explained it to me, and to me, it is the more accurate metric. Personally, I trust cinema score.
Yeah, I didn't know Fury Road got a B plus though. I thought that would have got an A. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, look, Joe, Crazy to the Max reviews.
Oh, that's terrific.
That's great.
That's the title. 13 minutes, Max. It's got to be short.
So, Joe, this goes along to you thinking there's great movies out right now. I don't think they're dumpster fires, but I don't think they're great. I think very few are great movies right now. This is why our reviews would be interesting if it passes both of our approval. That would be interesting. But I don't know, Voltaire. What do you think? He's saying most things get a B and maybe they deserve an A. I think most things that are get a B deserve a B right now. Like, I think the movies aren't as good as they used to be, and for the most part, there's some really good. Like Dune 2 was amazing to me.
Right. So most
Barbie
things
was
gotta
amazing.
be, but isn't that what isn't cinema score people coming out of the theater? Like, isn't that what it is?
I thought, yes.
Yeah. So if B is the metric, and then it has, and according to Grace has a good video on it. I would never be able to find it at this point, but she explains what it means for as far as like future people watching it based on the score. And there's a trend that's accurate according to her. So she proved it to
She's
me.
not a complete idiot, Joe. She has a lot of good points. No, she has a lot of good points. Just because she says certain things you disagree with, or she covers rumors, All right. Well, I gotta call you, Joe, on this review idea. I gotta see if I could see Furiosa because I'm very interested to see. I wanted to see it anyway, but I want to see.
Go
what we
see it
can
after
do.
the food trucks tomorrow with your wife.
Well, I have To the Max tomorrow night, and I don't
Hmm.
know. I'll have to see. Maybe Sunday. I don't know. Okay, so that was just in. I was surprised by that. Now, even rational skeptic about cinema score. Not everything in America participates in cinema score, so we really can't put much faith in it. It's still consumers going there, not that it's every theater. So
No,
I don't. I still
it
put.
is polling. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's polling, and polling can be wrong, but polling has some value, obviously.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me bring up the mailbag here. Oh, wow. We got 21 in the mailbag. All right, here we go. And thank you for the support. If you're just getting here, like the video. We've gone a little bit past the hour. It's more than a power hour. We're in bonus territory here because I didn't get to cover mailbag and good news of Twitter lately. So we're doing a little bit of bonus
I
here.
don't think the viewers care. They're happy
Yeah.
to have it.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Bruce is being
everybody.
critical.
Thanks for staying us on a late night Friday.
Yeah.
Holiday
Jacob McKenzie is back. Thoughts on Dua Lipa is reportedly being eyed to play Meg in Disney Hercules live action film. Excellent. Excellent. She can sing. She could dance for sure, from what I've seen on X. Her music videos. She wants to be more in entertainment, obviously from Argyle, starring what? Joe, are you talking about Dua Lipa?
I
Are
think
you talking about Grace Randolph? Please clarify, Joe. Which woman are you talking about? Dua Lipa's awesome. I don't think she's an amazing actress, but I'm really excited about the live action Hercules movie. That's one that I think would translate well, Yeah, Jacob the Goat. No, you don't have to watch her anywhere else except their music videos. She's, very provocative, like Madonna back in the day almost. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with her work. I
You
couldn't
should
finish.
get more familiar with it.
Is that right? Okay, I
Yeah.
will. I couldn't
No.
finish Argyle. It wasn't that great.
I know who she is for sure. Well, there was a thing I was watching. I don't know. Was it for Academy Awards or something? And she was there doing a performance. I was like, oh, okay. It's the performance on some live event. Shut up, Zeno. Jacob is a lot. Jacob is awesome.
We missed him when he doesn't.
I actually, yeah, I really missed them from the last one. Lady Gaga on her authentic take on Harley Quinn and Joker Folie Deux. You know my version of Harley is mine. It's very authentic, this movie and these characters. I've never done anything like I've done in this movie before. That's awesome. One of my most anticipated this year. I don't think that movie's going to have problems at the box office.
Zero problems. And I said it months ago when it was first announced. Lady Gaga is going to kill it as Harley Quinn. Kill it.
Yes. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to her performance more than Joaquin's, honestly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's saying a lot.
Yep.
George Lucas says that new Star Wars projects have a lot of talent, great ideas, and production. I feel like they come from my children, and sometimes it hurts a little when they grow up and get away from way away from you. It's good that he's saying there's some great ideas in there. He says some. I would emphasize the some. But hopefully he really likes the Acolyte. He said he really liked the Obi-Wan series. I'm sure he liked Ahsoka, seeing Hayden Christensen come back,
Sure.
you know, and Obi-Wan, because he was in there too. So I'm hoping that George gets to enjoy it, you know. He deserves it.
Yeah, along with his $4 billion, he's fine.
Yeah. Thoughts on Disney is reportedly eyeing Tara Edgerton and Austin Butler for the role of Hercules in the live-action Hercules film. I would probably go towards Taron Egerton over Austin Butler. I like Austin Butler, but I don't know about for Hercules, you know?
Yeah.
I like both. I mean, I'm not against either. I think those are cool choices. For sure. We're glad it's not John Cena.
Come on.
I mean, I like John Cena, but
I really like John Cena.
Yeah. I like him, but he's a little bit too old for Hercules now.
That's
George was asked what cinema will be like in 10 years. Same thing as it is now. The stories they're telling are just old movies. Let's do a sequel. Let's do another version of this movie.
Oh boy.
There's no original thinking. The big studios, they don't have an imagination.
Oh boy.
That was honestly besides what they did to Luke, that was my biggest criticism of the sequel trilogy. There wasn't like a lot of, like, when you got the OG trilogy or the prequel trilogy, there was like all these new fantastical designs for spaceships and tech and droids. But when you get to the sequel trilogy, oh, you have a TIE fighter, but it's black. Or
a black X-wing too,
you
Max.
have an X-wing, but it's a little bit more pointed. There
Yeah.
wasn't like a huge emphasis on all this artistry and this graphic design and tech that was missing. And a lot of the other thing that was missing besides the story was the Kenner stuff, the toyetic. Like, that's why action figures from the original Star Wars are so sought after and it's worth so much money, is because these set pieces were it's like a playground.
Yep.
And sometimes in the sequel trilogy, you get to an action sequence and it's over. It's not like, remember when in Hoth, when the walkers got there and it was like a long thing, and that was a big sequence.
So hold on. When
That
you
was a long
everybody remember the first time you saw that shot of the walkers when the guy was looking through them through the binoculars?
Yeah,
It
that was
blew
intimidating.
you away. Okay,
Yeah,
it blew you away.
that's missing. Some of those things. It's just like when you get to the space battles, it's just like they just like zoom in close on the X-wing. It's like flying all over the thing. Everything's fast. It looks like a Michael Bay production in the back, or just special effects flying it. But it's missing a lot for me personally. You know,
I think also
you hate the word toyetic. There's a lot of toyetic stuff in the original one in prequel trilogy where it's like there's scenes and sequences and action set pieces that are big and epic, and at a playground that makes you want to play in it. That's why the video games were so cool from that era too, because it had a big template for the games, for the toys, for the action figures, you know? Zena says in 10 years, Lucas's dementia will have him believe old movies are new.
Yeah, that might be true, sadly.
I hope he's around in 10 years, honestly. You know, you never know.
He's rich.
Okay.
He'll find a way.
He'll find a way. Okay. So that's what I agree with. They don't have an imagination. But I do think sequels, reboots, and IP stuff are important, and they're keeping the industry alive. I'm not like that stinking perp who's always complaining about sequel. It's keeping the industry alive and keeping people in jobs. If people didn't have reboots and sequels to work on, well, they work on people's indie projects the indie project's going to get done either. The special effects studios that work on franchise films, but then also might work on a project for an indie director.
Yeah.
That special effects company might not be there if it weren't for the big IP firm.
Yeah, but don't take Herb seriously, because he's the same guy who'll see Evil Dead 27. You know what I mean? So
no, I mean, but this is reality. You can complain about it, but blockbuster movies are keeping the industry on the life support it has right now.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for them, what if you didn't have Marvel or DC these last few years?
Right, and sometimes it doesn't work, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
but when it works, it works.
I like B movies. I'm not against B movies. I'm just like, you need an environment where everyone could succeed, and that means that you have to have the franchise films. You have to have that big IP. That's what's keeping Disney in business. What would Disney be without the big IP if they only did like Searchlight Productions? They'd be out of business. You wouldn't have a Disney World.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad to have it all. Christopher Nolan planned to make 12 or 13 films when he was young. As a young man, I had a list. However, I'd work out 12 or 13 films. I had a lot of ideas, a lot of very specific things I wanted to do. And I look back and haven't done any of them. They've all changed. When you plan ahead too far in the movie business, you're not taking into account the shifting sands of culture under your feet. Cinema evolves. And part of the job as a filmmaker is to be open to being part of the evolution. That's been tremendous fun. It would have been very boring to have done things exactly the way I thought I was going to do them. And life as well. It's not always what you plan out. When did you plan to be a lawyer, Voltaire?
No, I knew when I was like 12 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You're an exception.
I was a kid. I saw LA Law. I saw The Firm, and I knew I wanted to be a lawyer. But you're right. No, I wanted to be a baseball player or an astronaut. But once I realized those weren't going to happen, you know what I mean? Then I went to lawyer. But yeah, what he's saying is a good tale for life. That's fascinating, because that's a man who can do whatever he wants right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he said his views have changed. Like it's a good point to keep your mind open.
So Rational says here, Max, I've leveled up in Speedstorm. I'm coming for you. Good. Bring it, Rational. I'll kick your butt just like I do in Tekken and all the other fighting games. Bring it. Anthony Cheeseman, thoughts on the Beverly Hills Cop 4 trailer? I still didn't get to see it yet because I wanted to do a reaction. I didn't get to see. I'm looking forward to it. Did you see it, Voltaire, yet, the trailer?
I haven't, but I am looking forward to the film without seeing the trailer.
Yeah.
I'll watch an Eddie Murphy project. I will. Like, I watched Coming to America, the reboot. It was terrible, but I still watched it because I love Eddie Murphy.
Yes, I'm rooting for Eddie Murphy. Thoughts on the first teaser for Liam Hemsworth as the Witcher? I've only seen an image.
I mean, he looks fine.
I actually want to give him a shot. I didn't even finish the last season, but wouldn't it be suck to be Liam when there's a Chris? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
It'd be rough. I'm not saying suck. It would be rough.
Yeah, he's trying to make his own way, and now he's going to try to revive the Witcher fan. You know what? He could. What do you want me to tell you? He looks.
Maybe he might be a better.
It's all about the writing, right? I mean, if they change the way the writing is, maybe. I mean, look, I tried to watch season 2, even with Cavill in it, and I loved season 1, and I could tell right away there was something off with season 2, and I just didn't get through it. I still haven't gotten through season 2. So if they clean up the writing, maybe he looks like him.
Yeah, I want to give him a shot. I think everyone's going to laugh at it, but you know what? Give him a shot.
Yeah.
I am going to go back to the show, jerk. I'm gonna go back and watch season 3 before season 4 drops, and then watch the beginning. I do so watch stuff. I'm just busy. I'm busy getting $10 CRTs. I can't wait till Zeno finds that out. You bought a TV for $10.
This man is going out at 1 a.m. to how far are you driving, Max?
It's only like 10 minutes away.
Please.
Go take my mother's packages that she got receipt, that were delivered ahead of time while she's out of town.
There you go.
Yeah.
At 1 a.m., everybody, with the ghosts and goblins out there and the, ne'er do well.
I'm on call for my parents for whatever they need.
There you go. Who else is going to be?
Yeah. Isaac, the biggest movie fan, 57. Does being in an empty movie theater with not a lot of people is not fun? Have you guys ever experienced that? I love it, but I feel bad that the movie's not making money. But I love being the only one in the theater. I love it.
Oh,
it's great.
I used to purposely seek those showings out with my girlfriend when I was a young man.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Cal's excuse is working and getting laid. What's yours? All right. Awesome. So I love it. I want, maybe it already exists. Bruce, we don't know.
No, he's getting laid. He's getting paid. Cal's a important man.
Yeah. Yeah, I love an empty movie. I like it when I'm with my wife and it's just us. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's like I do the cheesy generic thing. I reserved the theater for us, baby. I don't say baby, but you know what I mean. Like I reserved it for us. Yeah. No, that's great. Isaac, I know you're not a fan of the Venom movies, but I heard this rumor that Sony is going to do. Oh my goodness, yes. Going to do the Venom going after 10-year-old Peter Parker plot for Venom 3. And I thought your thoughts on this. Horrible. Are you telling me that, we wanted Venom against Spider-Man, but the way you're going to do it is you're going to have a 10-year-old Peter Parker there? Freaking lame. I mean, I guess there's a world where it might be interesting, but come on. That's like worse than not having him in there.
I mean, so the bottom line is, and Joe points this out, as bad as these Venom movies are, he doesn't say they're bad. He thinks they're good, but they made money. You know what I mean? People are going to see these movies because of the property. So why would they start bringing in real Spider-Man? Bringing in a kid Spider-Man is just fine for what they've been doing. I think it's terrible, personally.
Jade says if it's a horrible idea, Sony will probably do it. Are you Anthony Beltry? Look at it being effing garbage ass movie studio.
Yeah, but they've made money. This is so. You know what? It's funny, Anthony. You say that about Sony, but you won't say that about Disney Star Wars, will you? Who, although they've made money off those awful movies, they're still bad movies.
Mm-hmm.
But Venom, they've made money off of those movies. They're terrible movies.
James Gunn confirmed Superman is halfway done with filming. We're all a little over halfway through shooting. Good. I hope it's great. I can't wait to see the rest of the cast and costume.
I was already kind of excited for a James Gunn Superman, but I got to tell you, I'm getting more and more excited for a James Gunn Superman. I feel the man's passion with it. Just even his stupid tweets, you could sense the passion he has for this project. He obviously needs it to work, but I just feel like this is the right kind of person to put this kind of IP in the hands of. Mm-hmm. I'd be shocked if it wasn't good. Yeah,
I'm glad that it's on track. That we're probably going to get it next summer.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher Nolan on the challenge of making big budget auteur films. As the film gets bigger, it started to feel more and more like driving an oil tanker rather than a speedboat. I'll be standing with my director of photography looking in one direction, and we'll spin around and say, what if we look in the completely other direction? And then you'll see 50 people scrambling to run behind you. That sort of giant long tail of people you have in production. And so that's a challenge. Hold my beer, Denis Villeneuve says to Christopher. He still does big budget auteur films and doesn't have any issues. The bigger it gets,
Yeah.
I think Denny kind of surpassed Christopher Nolan this year.
I think he's better. I think he is better. Yeah. And they just released Dune 2 on Max, and I'm excited to rewatch it this weekend.
Oh no, Cody Rhodes is going to be in the.
Oh, that's great.
Maybe he'll do the Crossroads.
I like the idea of them bringing wrestlers.
Move in wrestling, the Crossroads.
It doesn't look very intimidating, does it?
No, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
But I like the
Like,
idea
I'm
of
gonna
them
throw you around.
Ah!
It's like, so like, what is this?
Yeah.
At least it doesn't hurt anyone. I mean, all right. Christopher Nolan on his intentions before each new film. You're trying to add something to the body of work, movies generally. You're trying to do something a little bit different, even if it's a few things you've seen before. You're trying to help evolve the language with other filmmakers of your generation. I still value Christopher Nolan a lot. I just,
Mm.
yeah,
Do you really? I mean,
yeah,
I thank you, Jacob, for these great questions.
yeah.
I kind of think Christopher Nolan has I mean, look, and to be honest, I haven't seen the last movie he made, but I don't know that his movie. I feel like he's kind of overhyped as an auteur. I feel like Denis Villeneuve has surpassed him easily.
Yeah, and I used to think Denis Villeneuve was a little bit overrated. Like with what was
Mm.
that, Arrival? I'm like, okay, it's okay.
Yeah, I had a love-hate relationship with him.
I was just like, all right, I don't see why people are raving about this. I understand why people are raving about Dune too.
I loved Prestige by Villeneuve. I loved The Enemy. Enemy, go watch that movie. It's like a low budget movie he did. It's fantastic with Jake Gyllenhaal that a lot of people don't know about, but he really blew me away with these Dune films. These kind of big production sci-fi movies that he can do that. That's hard to do, by the way.
Yeah.
The way he's done them, they're fantastic.
This is the last question I'll do from the mailbag today, and we'll just do a little bit of good news with Twitter and head off because I do want to cover this. So this is interesting. This is pretty. This is where kind of George. Thank you, Jacob, for this topic here. This is kind of where George surpasses the other filmmakers like Scorsese and stuff. Are like stuck. Like Scorsese is a great filmmaker, but he's stuck making the same type of film over and over again. In Flowers of the Killer Moon did not do like they were saying.
Haven't seen it yet.
Irishman was okay. Joe Pesci was the best part of that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It wasn't direction, it wasn't De Niro, it wasn't the aging, it wasn't the actual Irishman. It was Joe Pesci coming back. But Flowers of the Killer Moon, I wanted to see, but I've just heard like it's okay, and he's like Scorsese and there's some other old directors that are they're really against change.
Mm,
Where it's interesting to see George's take on this, where he's like, you can't fight against it. Like, no matter what your thoughts on our AI, George Lucas says using AI for filmmaking is inevitable.
right.
It's like saying, I don't think these cars are going to work. Let's just stick with horses. You can say that, but that isn't the way the world works. So it's an inevitable that AI is going to be used for entertainment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I do think he's right. I honestly can't dispute that. Like, I'm not thrilled about AI. I'm not for it. Like, I prefer the human touch to artistry
Forget
and
it. Yeah.
special effects and the character design, but we're getting into a world where you really can't.
No. And you know what, everybody? When you're an old man or when you're old, you're going to want AI because AI is going to be that's going to be your future caretakers. You know what I mean? That's going to be all that kind of
I
stuff.
mean, honestly, and this is the sad state. This is horrible to say when you said when you're old. I'm thinking about like if you have to be in a nursing home when you're old, and I really appreciate caretakers, but the situations of all these nursing homes are not great. Um,
Yeah.
AI, automation, and robots can actually really help in those situations, and we
Right.
don't know. Like, right, you may be reliant on AI when we're old.
And let me tell you something. It's coming. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I use the example of my Tesla. It self drives. It drives better than me. It parks better than me. Okay, and I have no problem letting it drive. You know,
Oh
uh,
yeah, I watched a video, and as much as it annoys me about automated McDonald's, they said each sandwich is perfect every time. It's
mm,
not going to be a crappy burnt one, or the
right.
fries aren't going to be old and stale, you
Yep.
know, because
Yeah.
they do the same thing every time.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to tell you when I had COVID and I had to go to the ER, I was feeling terrible. and I didn't want to call 911, and I couldn't breathe. And I got in my Tesla, and it drove me to the ER. I wouldn't have been
Wow.
able to drive myself.
It could actually save lives then.
I'm just telling you, I'm not supposed to use. I wasn't supposed to use it that way,
Well, I mean, listen,
but I
and this
did.
is hard for me to say because I lost my uncle to a stroke. What if you had no? What if you had like a situation you could even move or something, but you could get your your automated car could get you to a hospital. I mean,
Right.
of course, it'd be better to call an ambulance, but you never know what situations come up. You know?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm telling you, figure drawing, yes, 100%. If I started to feel like I had a health emergency,
Well, Cal,
it
watch
would
the
be,
language, please. I
it
don't know
would
who's.
be, it would be. I am going to get. I'm on the list, Cal. I'm just waiting for my name to come up. I'm on the reservation list for a Cybertruck. So one day, I know you don't like. I know you don't like Elon figure drawing. I know you don't. But if I had a medical emergency, it would be quicker for me to get in my Tesla and punch in the ER's address than it would be for me to call 911 and wait for the ambulance. That is the reality.
Mhm.
Okay. So that is just an
Well,
example.
there was another pandemic.
Yeah.
Do you remember when it started when all the people were coming down with COVID at the same time? You had people waiting and dying, waiting for an ambulance.
Yeah.
If there's an event, an AI Cybertruck could get you to the hospital instead of waiting for the ambulance.
So my buddy who lives nearby.
Oh, and like the costs. Listen, I would always want to rely on the ambulance, but it's the cost is probably a lot cheaper too than to get it.
Cal, I don't know what that means, okay? But it's true. It is quicker to get in my Tesla and have it drive me to the ER than 911 is. Why is that hard to believe? I don't understand,
Mhm. Oh
Yes, I
well.
agree. Figure drawing. Elon was not necessarily the creator, but the point is that my Tesla can drive me to the ER.
And they're launching rockets like every day.
And I got to tell you, I want a new car, but I don't know if I can go from a Tesla to a regular car ever again.
Mhm. I don't
Trust
know
me,
if I could go to another car.
I've wanted a 911 since I was a little boy, but I don't know if I could go to a Porsche from a Tesla. I love the
It's that
Tesla so
it's
much.
that it's like
Yeah.
that's like people make this is like when people like, what's an iPad or an iPod? Remember back when they first came out, and you're like, I don't need
Everybody
this.
thought iPad was stupid when it
Yeah,
first
people
came out.
think
Yeah.
Cybertruck's stupid and stuff,
Yeah.
but you don't know till you've tried it.
Yeah.
If you actually drove in one, I'm not gonna make fun of it until I actually drive in one, which
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do unless Voltaire stops by.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna drive in one, but I'm like, I'm not gonna make fun of it. I'm like, you don't know.
You don't know. It drives itself, everybody. And it's better than you. Trust me. And you'd have less accidents and your insurance would be cheaper if everybody was using it. And let me tell you, anybody under age 7 is never going to drive a car because by the time they turn driving age, it'll be all over the place. And if you're a truck driver, find a new career.
Mhm.
Mhm.
He could spend. He has money to spare. Cal, don't worry about his money. Okay, so let's do good news of Twitter real quick. This is very interesting. This may have been your Amazing Spider-Man 3, or this may have been a deleted scene from Amazing Spider-Man 2. This is Andrew Garfield and who they were gonna get to play as Mary Jane. She was in one of those like young adult movie series Divergent or something. This actress. Shailene Woodley, I think someone's saying there. But I actually think this looks awesome. She looks great as Mary Jane. I do feel like we kind of missed out
It
here. What
looks
do you
like a
think?
Mary Jane. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's seems like a little bit of chemistry there too. You know?
If that's a real picture.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard that they filmed some scenes or something that just got cut because Gwen Stacy was the main lady in the Amazing Spider-Man films.
Mhm.
You know, um, so that's the most ridiculous statement. Like no one's thinking Cybertrucks are affordable in this type of economy. It's for people that have the funds.
Yeah, well, so they are,
A
the
luxury
Tesla's next
it's a
step
luxury
is
vehicle.
Tesla's next goal is to make like a $20,000 car.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah,
Okay. Well, here's other. Yeah, this is from the set. See,
Oh wow. What is this movie?
this was from Amazing Spider-Man 2 or something.
Oh, from Amazing Spider-Man.
They're in the Blu-ray deleted scenes on Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Like,
This
you
is
know what?
perfect.
He won me over.
I really wish this would have happened.
Yeah, he won me over in that movie with him and Toby and
Mhm.
what's his name?
I mean, they might have it. You might have a chance to bring her back, although she's kind of dropped off as a movie star, so I haven't seen her anywhere. Okay, so let me see what else I have here on my good news here. Okay, we'll go through this as fast as we can. Sorry, Voltaire, because I got
No,
I know
this is
you
an
got
A plus. This is an A+ segment. It's fine.
there is good news on X. Good news on X, I mean. X gonna give it to you. I don't know what we're saying. Good news on Twitter still. The Dexter prequel series is now called Dexter Original Sin. Will star Patrick Gibson. Is that Mel Gibson's? I don't know. Is he related? I don't know. Is it a Nepo baby? I don't know. Although that would be not a
That'd be
positive
not a good
Nepo
Nepo
situation.
thing.
That would
Yeah.
be not a positive Nepo situation to be related to Mel Gibson.
No.
Christian Slater. I like Christian Slater.
Oh my God, he was actually good in that Pop-Tart movie.
That Pop-Tart movie was horrible.
Yes, it was.
We
But he
didn't
was.
finish it. Even my wife, we gave up.
But he was good at it, right? Where he's playing that bad milkman. He was pretty good. It was nice to see Christian Slater.
Yeah. I've never watched Dexter. Have you?
Yeah, I saw the whole series.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's a good series.
Okay. The show is set in 1991, 15 years before the events of Dexter. Slater is the adopted father. Harry and Molly Brown is his sister Deborah. Okay. I'm okay for that.
So if you watch Dexter, they had a lot of flashbacks. And this is why, in fact, somebody in the chat the other night criticized it because they had a lot of flashbacks in Dexter, like from when he was a teenager and because his father knows that he's a serial killer and he's trying to take it out of him by channeling the energy elsewhere. So yeah, it's a good idea for a prequel series.
Mhm. So there's some more writers for Lanterns in James Gunn's DC universe. I'll still believe it when I see it. I know on the previous stream they were not happy about Lindelof. I think he was a JJ guy on Lost.
Yeah.
I'll just be happy when I see. I'm not going to be happy when I hear they're adding more writing and producing. I'm going to be happy when there's some casting announcements from this project because this has been in development. Heck, as long as the Flash movie, almost. Not as long as the Flash movie, but
Well, this part of the DC IP is important for James Gunn.
yeah, this is another part of the last version of DC that they got Green Lantern wrong 2 times already because they waited I liked the first film, but the fart cloud villain and not having Sinestro as the main villain was a huge mistake. Like, oh, we're gonna get to him next film. That never happened.
Right.
And then not having, I know Zack Snyder was gonna bring him in his version of Justice League if he got to do part 2, that would have been there. But
Yeah.
this is a part where you can pretty much unite as much as possible. You can't unite the DC fandom, but bringing in a good Green Lantern, is something that would be next level for James Gunn to do, to be like, this
Right.
is different this time because we're getting Green Lantern done and we're getting it done right, and that would be a great start. Just like they're doing Superman and Supergirl 1 year apart, you know.
Mhm.
So that's great. That's something different. And then if they did Green Lantern, this would be a place to focus on to say, hey, this is not the same old, same old. You're getting a different experience here. We're gonna have lanterns.
Well,
So
he's got a clean slate to work on Green Lantern, doesn't he?
yeah.
And weren't you in the bits of the Snyder cut that you saw Green Lanterns in them? Weren't you excited about those? I was. I thought it was great.
Oh yeah, it was really good. I mean, what little there was, I like Green Lantern as a character. I think my favorite Green Lantern is John Stewart and in the Justice League animated series and Justice League Unlimited. I really like that.
Mhm.
I like Hal too, but
Guy Gardner.
Yeah. So I just hope this actually gets moving. That's all I have to say about it is I want it to happen. And I think that's something that's going to show that we're doing something different this time. And honestly, I would like to hear some update from James Gunn on this instead of just adding more writers. You know?
I have faith in Gunn, and I have faith in the IP. I think he's gonna. This is an IP that can be. Just don't mess it up, and I feel like James Gunn will know how to do it.
Mhm. Hal and John, yes. No, I that was my favorite Green Lantern just because I like the Xeno. I wasn't virtue signaling saying I like John Stewart better than Hal. It's because it was in that show. It was because I really liked that was the main Green Lantern in that show.
Yeah, I agree with Jade. Sinestro was a good casting. It was just not a good movie.
Yeah, they shouldn't have waited. Everyone wanted to see that, and they're like, "Oh, wait till the next film." So here's some steel books for Loki and Quantumania. Great steel books. Horrible movie, Quantumania.
Yeah,
sorry.
Loki season 2 was terrific. Everybody, give it another chance.
I don't. Oh, you say give it another chance?
Yeah, I loved it.
All right. So this person says, really love that Anna Taylor-Joy clearly put a lot of care into her Furiosa as an extension of what Charlize Theron built in Fury Road, down to the voice and mannerisms. Easily believed I could be watching the same person.
Did you hear that she has like 17 lines of dialogue only in the movie?
Yeah.
So that's like Keanu Reeves in the last John Wick, right?
Yeah. Yeah, here's George Lucas again saying AI for filmmaking is inevitable. It's like saying, I don't think these cars are going to work. Let's just stick with horses. You could say that, but it isn't the way the world works. Joe, this is this is the Power Hour.
Yo,
Joe,
I
your
just
face
got
is
home.
power. All right. Well, no, you know what? We'll allow it because we're just
yeah, that's fine.
We're only going to be on for 10 more minutes anyway. But you're breaking the rules of my new show, Joe. This is the Power. I'm going to have you on too, but I have one panelist on at a time. But you know what? It's the end of the show, so we'll allow it.
And we're on Power 2 Hour Max.
Yeah, we're already breaking the rules tonight. This was way longer than I was supposed to go.
I just got home. I was driving.
Okay. George Lucas defends his decision to make the special editions of the Star Wars original trilogy. I'm a firm believer that the director or the writer or the filmmaker should have a right to have the movie be the way he wants it. That's okay, Joe. Get in here. That's fine. I just, we're gonna only go 10 more minutes anyway. I think I'm on board with that, unless you're working on someone else's IP. Like now, I am for creative vision, and I don't like what happened to Zack Snyder, but there's also a certain point where you got to do something that the IP holder wants to, within reason. But that's the line is subjective, right?
I'll say this though, Lucas is a bit of a hypocrite though, because like he did the special editions of the Star Wars movies. He didn't consult with the directors of those movies because Irving Kershner directed Empire and Richard Marquand directed Return of the Jedi, and
that's an interesting point.
Richard Marquand was dead, so Richard Marquand.
Well, he couldn't then.
Yeah, I know. So basically, the director of Return of the Jedi never got any say in those special editions. So his name's on there as the director, but those aren't his cuts of the movies. So I don't know. It's a little hypocritical of George.
Well, no, George didn't want. He tried to get David Lynch to direct Return of the Jedi. Remember, everybody.
Yeah, you're okay to have creative vision, do what you want on your film, but if it's in my IP, everyone's a little hypocritical. I could see the hypocrisy in there. Joe, good call. He didn't direct Empire and Return. He got someone else to. Name something found in a home in the 80s that you wouldn't find in homes today.
Just got the popcorn bucket.
Did you see it, Joe?
No, we're seeing it Sunday.
That's a cool popcorn bucket. Let me see that.
Well, that's the thing. I had to drive to Delaware to get. That's why I was driving. I had to drive to Delaware to get this because it's only at Cinemark theaters, and Cinemark.
So you went and bought the popcorn bucket, but didn't see the movie.
No, I got it for my daughter. She loves Garfield.
I want that one too.
Yeah,
I didn't
she
even
saw
notice it
A
existed.
bucket.
she saw this and was like, "I want one of those."
That's a cool one.
Yeah, I had to
You
go
can actually
Wilmington
use
to
that
get it.
one. Yeah.
W popcorn. That's one of the better ones I've seen. Okay, let me see here. This is Perp, and this is everyone on MME. My friend, not really into horror movies. That's me, and that's Perp.
Still the best movie I've seen all year.
I got to see that movie.
What?
The Late Night with the Devil.
Oh, okay. Here's young Indiana Jones. That was perfect. I love that casting. I love when they did this in the Last Crusade with River Phoenix as young Indy. You know, I got to go back and watch the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. I haven't seen that in a while.
It's good.
Morning people bragging that they've been up since 4 a.m. Also morning people. Oh, look, here's Nerds in 1980. This was a different level of nerd. I'm sorry. I'm not making fun of them, but this is another level. This is not like you see now.
These were real.
That one guy with the like green collar almost looks like Davy Jones.
Yeah. They're eating pizza. They're standing. This is hardcore nerds. This is like Revenge of the Nerds. You know, 1980, Empire Strikes. Oh, that's rare. He's got some Lando style almost next to these other people.
Yeah, and he's got Solo, a Star Wars story, Lando style. That's like the Solo outfit.
May the Force be with you. Not may the Force be female. Kathy.
I gotta get one of those shirts.
I think you would, yeah. Oh, Simu Liu on Shang-Chi. Let's listen to this. And then we'll end soon. Highlights of me. I got it. It was just worth a chuckle. It wasn't a full laugh, you know.
That's asking me to ask you.
Sure.
Shang-Chi.
Oh, okay. You want me to lose
my favorite movie of Phase 4. I really love Shang-Chi. It's amazing on Disney Plus IMAX Enhanced.
I like it.
No, I don't know. Again, I'm just saying we love the first one. The first one was a crusher success. I mean, first of all, I think it was like $500 million, something crazy. We all loved it. Now we're ready for part 2, and then we just haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
There's not going to be anything really here. It's just going to be like, oh yeah, we're making it.
Can you give us a hint?
This is where I use all the mental gymnastics that I possibly can to answer this question.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't. Okay.
Yeah. Well, look.
Take your time.
I will say this. It's definitely happening. I should probably.
Definitely happening. That's all I need to hear. Is that good enough for you?
Yep.
Definitely happening.
Well, we knew that though.
Well, no, not necessarily. With Bob Iger saying that not every character needs a sequel.
Yeah, but his movie was a big hit. So, relatively,
it wasn't a huge hit. It was relative.
It was a huge hit for the time.
Yeah,
for that moment in space, it was as big as you could.
Moment for representation too, you know. So that is a goal of Disney. Remember when Voltaire broke down the arguments about Gina? It is the agenda confirmed, which is fine by me.
I think Shang-Chi was my third favorite film of Phase 4.
Let's see what else he says here.
Lead with that.
Okay, that's good.
That's it. That's all we need to know. All right. Let's see what else.
There's just so much goodwill, and I'm so deep.
Although his character in that new sci-fi movie on Netflix is horrible.
What movie?
The one with Jennifer Lopez.
I haven't heard of it.
I still want to see it, but Josh Brolin isn't a fan of actors being difficult for their art. I just don't buy it.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Like maybe like method actors and being difficult to work with potentially.
I guess he's really good and good too.
I think he's a great actor.
Yeah.
This Diddy scene did not age well. The running from it didn't age well with this guy either.
Yeah, Russell Brand.
Russell Brand's kind of
And
out
Jonah
there.
Hill's had his problems too, right? They've all...
Last of Us. Let me make this a little smaller. Last of Us season 2 cast Jeffrey Wright as Isaac, reprising his role from the video game. Awesome! I love Last of Us series.
Jeffrey Wright works with Max a lot. Wow.
Is this an official poster for Temple of Doom? Joe's favorite Indiana Jones movie?
Ugh.
I actually really like this poster. I would love this poster. I have to find out if it's.
I gotta say, as much as I hate Temple of Doom, it does have one of my favorite Indiana Jones posters. There's one Drew Struzan Temple of Doom poster that's just like not the one that's got his head and mole around, but like one that's just got a picture of Indy. Kind of like I don't know. That's one of my favorites.
Why did you like it, Joe? You don't think it's like a classic Indiana Jones
Well,
movie?
it doesn't. Okay, number one, it's a little too silly. Like
is a bit
it ends with everybody getting squirted by an elephant, and like I mean it's kind of a goofy movie, and also it doesn't fit in with the series. If you watch all the other Indiana Jones movies, Raiders, Last Crusade, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, Dial of Destiny, they feel like one franchise. They
That's
all kind of have a format to them. Right down to the font. I know that's a little thing, but they all have the same title font except Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom does the big poster font in the movie, which none of the others do. They all have scenes of him at the college teaching, like he'll be on another adventure, then he'll go to the college, then something will happen. And there's kind of a formula to the Indiana Jones movies. And the only one that doesn't fit in at all is Temple of Doom. Like everything structurally, how the movie's put together,
Kathy Kennedy's in there.
it's like a weird outlier.
Yeah. Well, I like it, but here's the next Doom game. This is on Twitter. The next Doom game is reportedly called Doom: The Dark Ages. The game is described as medieval inspired. Nice. Classic first-person shooter.
Everybody loves cake.
That's why I was like, I like the guy with the he's like, oh, come on. He was waiting for the cake. Okay, so crazy to think this scene came out 10 years ago.
Hands up!
Oh, I don't want to. This is going to get Joe going. I didn't know Joe was going to be here. And there isn't a scene is good for the Flash of the DCU.
Is that the X-Men?
Quicksilver. No, yeah, Quicksilver.
Oh yeah, that's a great scene. But you know what? As good as that was, the scene they did in Apocalypse with Sweet Dreams, the Eurythmics, was even better. I
like
always say
Apocalypse.
when people complain about Apocalypse, I say, look, you complain about that movie all you want. It's got the best scene in any X-Men movie, and it's the Sweet Dreams scene.
There's a lot of good stuff in there. Yeah. But they're dogging on the Flash though.
How?
Joe, by saying there's nothing as good for the Flash in the DCU as this was. It's 10 years. They gave them the template.
Absolutely
New
there
Flash.
is. Absolutely there is. The scene at the beginning with the babies and the dog.
So, Joe, which scene was better?
Joe!
The baby scene with the microwave or this scene?
Which is better?
Yeah.
They're very different tones. It's hard to compare. It's like apples and oranges.
Yeah, but it's
so hard.
two
It's so hard.
superheroes who run fast.
But I'll tell you, you know, and that's one of the things. The Flash, one of the things that the Flash did so well was they were able to
The
do
babies and the
super speed and not make it a ripoff of this. Like that's one of the reasons that scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League with the
it's a
Flash
ripoff now.
sucks, because it's a total ripoff of this scene. It's just the same thing. So that was one of the great things that the Flash did, was like, it was like, we're going to give you a super speed scene, but we're not going to make it like a total ripoff of what you've already saw.
Okay, Joe.
Well, come on, Joe. As far as showing a super fast hero's powers, which is better, this or that one?
Well, like I said, it's apples and oranges. Like this took it one way, and then the Flash did it more for laughs, which is what the Flash should do, because the Flash is a more comical character.
Which one did you find more entertaining then?
Oh, the Flash.
Okay, there you go.
In terms of entertainment, definitely the Flash.
There you go.
All right, that's enough of that.
That's his opinion.
Happy 64th birthday to Doug Jones. He was in Hellboy, Pan's Labyrinth. He was Silver Surfer. I don't know what he is there.
I'm making a prediction right now. My wife said she's going to riot if it happens. I think Saru is going to die in the season finale of Star Trek Discovery.
I don't even remember who
I
Saru
don't
is.
know.
Oh, there's Saru up there.
Yeah, Doug Jones.
Oh, I forgot. Okay. I haven't watched that series. in a while.
I think they're leading up to his death. I think he's going to die next week. And my wife's like, I'm going to riot if he does. I'm like, I got a feeling.
Well, Sentinels and X-Men Days Future Past were traumatizing.
Yeah.
I would have preferred the regular type of Sentinels, but yeah.
It's hard to do this time.
96% audience score Rotten Tomatoes Furiosa Mad Max Saga.
Joe's at 4% who didn't like it.
That movie was so boring. I almost left early. I was struggling to keep my eyes open. It was so dull.
Okay.
If you want to see a lot of trucks riding through sand, then it's the movie for you.
Does everyone know
Isn't that what a Mad Max
horror
movie
movies,
is? Joe?
Final Girls?
Well, that's what Fury Road was too.
Does everyone know about horror movie Final Girls, right?
Yes.
Okay. So if you were the director or it was your project, you can only pick one. Who would be your final girl?
Only one.
Only one of these four. There's Mia Goth. Man, I already forgot her name. On the
Sweeney-
left.
Sweeney, whatever.
Sydney Sweeney would be the
Jenna
first one to
Ortega.
die in my horror movie.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
Here's how I ranked them: Anya, then what's her name? Wednesday, then Sydney, and then what's the last one?
And Mia.
The final girl for me would be what's her name? Wednesday. God, what's Jenna Ortega. And Mia Goth would be the killer.
Sydney out, Mia fire, Jenna fire, Anya fire.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, no, Sydney, I
I'd
wouldn't
probably go Jenna Ortega, Mia Goth, Sydney Sweeney, then Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, you know what? Mia Goth is a better actress than Sydney Sweeney. This is true.
Honestly, I think Anya Taylor-Joy is a beautiful lady, and she seems like she'd be a cool person. But I haven't seen enough in her acting ability to be like, wow.
Oh, she was great in Last Night in Soho.
She was.
see
And
that.
she's also
I gotta
great
see
in
that.
The Witch.
And you know what? It's not a great movie. I don't love the movie.
No.
But she was really good in New Mutants. She gave a good.
Oh my God,
performance
she's
in it.
perfect as Magic in New
Yeah.
Mutants.
I admit figure drawing. I have to see those movies, but the movies I see.
The Witch is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay.
Yes, The Menu. Figure drawing mentioned The Menu. What a great
Oh, I
movie.
haven't seen that one.
Here's behind the scenes look at the Thunderbolts MCU movie. Nothing interesting. I have no idea what this is for the Thunderbolts. I have no idea. Someone said that Superman coming that.
That's the behind the scenes shot they're giving.
Yeah.
Okay.
A ladder.
You know, not that everything. I'm having trouble getting excited about the Thunderbolts.
Well, I am with this. This is not very exciting at all. I have no idea. No, there's no context. It just looks really boring.
Yeah, but I'm like I don't need everything to be comics accurate. Like I know that's fine. You don't have to be super comics accurate, but there's nothing about this movie that says Thunderbolts to me. Because the Thunderbolts was the all the supervillains masquerading as heroes and trying to fool everyone into thinking they were heroes. That's what the Thunderbolts was. This just almost looks like the MCU Suicide Squad.
Seems that way. And I thought there was a lot of Red Hulk, but there's no Red Hulk in it, right?
It's opening a West Coast store with Nintendo San Francisco in 2025. Cool. Here's Anya Taylor-Joy behind the scenes. I know, Joe, you're very intrigued because you love the movie. Here's some behind the scenes of Furiosa.
Okay.
Doesn't that make you appreciate it more, Joe? Look at that.
I'll tell you this. I don't even think she was that good. I mean, she's a good actress. I don't even think she was that good in Furiosa. She was bland.
Really?
Chris Hemsworth, however, is fantastic in it. He steals the show.
Exciting. I thought he would steal those. I figured he'd be a scene stealer.
It's his movie. She gets top billing.
We are celebrating the end of Stowaway to Nowhere, which has been, for me at least.
I don't know what she's talking about. Oh, well. Oh, William Dafoe in Beetlejuice 2. Look at that.
Wow.
What do you think, Joe?
I want to see it, but I'll tell you, the last trailer kind of left me cold because
I like
it looks
the
like
last
it's,
trailer.
but it looks like it's all the same jokes. Like,
Sure.
she starts to say his name and he shrieks and he, closes her mouth up, and it's like, well, that's the exact same joke, like recycled from the first movie. So I don't know. I hope there's something new in there.
Florence Pugh reportedly earning over 8 figures for her roles in Black Widow and upcoming Thunderbolts.
I like her a lot. She's really good.
Sure she is. I'm pumped for Beetlejuice 2, Cal. I'm looking forward to that movie.
Sigourney Weaver testing out a flamethrower filming on Alien. She
Sure.
used a real flamethrower?
But was it Spaceballs, the flamethrower?
No, I don't. Here's these guns again. I really want one of these.
Max, you're too old. You're 30 years too old for that.
I want to get one of these. Joe, would you like a water gun like that? I don't want it to look like a real gun
Maybe.
though. Look at that.
What would you do with that as an adult man?
I would
You
shoot Joe
shoot. You
with
shoot
it.
people in the. You shoot people in the crotch.
No,
and then
not the
everyone-
crotch.
Yeah, your
you
buddy's
shoot-
coming over to watch.
Yeah,
the
you
game.
you go to like you shoot like people. Like your
I
friends
just- it
going to
looks
work.
too
You
much
shoot them in
like
the
a real
crotch,
weapon,
and
though.
everybody thinks they pissed their pants. It's
Well,
a
that would
funny
be hilarious.
gag. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I will watch the menu figure drawing. I'm looking forward. I will
Here's
check
Jack
that.
Black in 1992 at age 23.
Oh wow,
He kind of looks like a serial killer.
he really doesn't look nice.
He's smoldering. That's a.
He doesn't look
smoldering-
jolly at all.
Let me see. Here's Monica Bellucci starring in Beetlejuice 2. She does look great.
Wow, she always looks great.
Who's Gary North, your friend?
Gary North loves Monica Bellucci. He's a #1 Monica Bellucci fan.
Yeah. Florence Pugh. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Florence Pugh ranks as one of the top 10 young A-list movie stars on the top studio's most wanted list.
Okay, sure.
Here's behind the scenes. Well, this is a first look at Finding Dory or Finding Nemo 3. Look at that.
They have behind the scenes of animated movies now.
Well, Pixar's gone next level. They're just filming fish.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what Mordecai Adams Barbie. I don't know why I retweeted that.
Why not?
Here's a purebred dog.
Aw.
Oh, wow.
What do you think of that, Joe?
Yeah, he's a handsome fella.
I would call that dog Toast.
Toast.
I would name him Toast. He looks like Toast.
Yeah, Toast. That's a cool costume. Sesame.
Can you tell me how to get?
Furiosa and found this amazing Deadpool and Wolverine claw machine. You could get the.
Where in Japan?
I don't think so.
They're big on claw machines over there.
It says
You
Cineplex
get-
Movies. That's Canada, isn't it? Cineplex.
You could get the necklace in there.
Well, you'd have to try if you saw one of those.
Oh, great! Ryan Johnson.
Oh yeah.
News on the upcoming Star Wars trilogy.
Did you hear? Yeah, they
He's
dropped
busy.
this teaser this morning.
Oh, I
Did
didn't
you
know.
like that movie, Joe? Knives Out 2?
What's that?
Did you like Knives Out 2?
I
didn't like
I
it, though. I'm
love
sure
the
you
Knives
liked
Out
it.
movies. I actually showed my wife the little teaser for Wake Up Dead Man, and it was so funny. She watched the whole thing and then she just went. She was so excited.
Wake Up Dead Man. It's a weird title for the movie.
Apparently, I didn't pick up on this. I knew Glass Onion was a reference to a Beatles song, but Chris Carr pointed out on the Campia show today, all 3 of these titles are song titles. Apparently, Knives Out is from like Radiohead or something.
Knives Out is a Radiohead song, yes.
I wasn't
Yes.
a Radiohead fan. I didn't know that. Wake Up Dead Man is apparently a U2 song. So apparently that's the naming convention. He's getting like song titles. for
Not
all
very
these.
creative. How do you feel about what's his name? His accent in the movie? Do you find it kind of like Foghorn
Daniel
Leghorn?
Craig.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, I do declare that.
Christine
That's
and
really
I,
easy.
Yeah, Christine and I go around the house just imitating him all the time. Like one of our favorite lines from Glass Onion.
That's how you know it's a good accent. If anybody
Yeah, we always go around the house like going like, okay, buttress yourself now, buttress
awesome
yourself.
change.
Buttress yourself.
I'm not really looking forward to the third one, but that's where it might surprise me because I did not like the second. I like the first one.
Really? Oh my god, it's so
His
good.
accent drove me crazy though. I can't stand Daniel Craig saying that again. I'm going to go on my Daniel Craig rant. I'd rather hurt myself than come back and get a huge paycheck to be James Bond again or do myself in. But I'll do all these indie movies where I do an accent where I think I'm like an amazing actor that's extremely cheesy. And it's always like a bad Southern accent.
But he got something better than Bond. Look at this.
Look at
This is better than Bond.
Oh my god, yes.
I didn't care for Knives Out 2, but I found it very watchable because I will say Ryan Johnson knows how to direct. I mean, the movie is watchable. I just didn't care for it that much, you know? And his accent does drive me bananas.
I do declare.
It was worse in the first movie than the second one.
It doesn't make any damn sense, but it compels me.
When you have a British man talking that way, I don't know why it just...
it's not.
He sounds like Foghorn Leghorn. It's awesome.
You said, yeah, what you doing?
It's wonderful.
I do know the song "Wake Up Dead Man" too.
Buttress yourself.
Oh, here's Anya Taylor-Joy. Thank you for going to see Furiosa, Joe. This is directed to you. Wait, she doesn't say anything? She's kind of odd.
She has a unique look to her. She's lovely, though.
No, I know it's... Okay, that's it? Wow. I should have...
There you go, Joe. That's your thank you for going to see the movie.
Yeah, well, I deserve a thank you. I deserve a thank you for staying away.
Here's a CRT that I would love that I will never have. These are so expensive.
Really?
14-inch TV from 2000, sold only in Japan and included a built-in Sega Dreamcast console.
Oh, built-in.
Only 500 to 1,000 were made.
Oh, yeah.
They're like 15,000 or I think they're like $10,000 or something. Ridiculous.
That's pretty cool. It's got a Dreamcast built.
It is cool though. That would be the ultimate get. We effed up society when we stopped making cool shirt like this, someone says. Yes.
You know, why hasn't Sony made a TV with a built-in PlayStation?
I don't know.
That's
Here's Daphne Keane at the Acolyte premiere.
Who's Daphne Keane?
I'm not familiar either.
This is X-23, all grown up.
Oh, really?
Wow.
I didn't recognize her. She looks different.
Showing off her assets.
Well, I was going to say Voltaire. Glad you did, not me. Blame Voltaire.
I'm just saying,
But-
look at that pose.
She's definitely grown up.
She's not a little girl anymore.
Apparently she is in the Acolyte. Well, she is in the Acolyte, and she apparently is also in Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, that's
Doesn't
what
make any damn
Anthony's
sense,
doing the
but it
PC
compels
route.
me.
Anthony's doing the PC route. She got older.
This is confusing me and seems highly inappropriate.
Don't make any damn sense. But it compels
Thank
me,
you,
though.
So there you go. I'm looking forward to seeing her in both projects.
She was really good in that movie when she was a little girl. She was excellent playing a young X-22.
Here is the best Wonder Woman.
Deborah Winger.
What? Deborah Winger? What?
Yeah, it's Deborah Winger.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Deborah
okay.
Winger was Wonder Girl.
Amazing.
Yeah, Linda Carter was terrific.
How come we don't get stuff like this anymore, Voltaire?
I mean, look at Linda Carter. She's just lovely.
Why can't this be our costumes in the new superhero? You know?
We got it on Blu-ray. That's all we need.
There you go.
There's a scene from that show where she's like riding a skateboard. There's a scene from that.
Oh, yeah.
You've seen that one, Joe? It's ridiculous.
Garfield No Way Home. They said the Garfield movie's awful, Joe.
Who says?
Joe Blow.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see.
Are you going to see it? Okay.
I'm seeing it Sunday. My daughter is so excited. She loves Garfield so much.
That's wonderful. Are you going to have
should I see Furiosa or Garfield?
I mean, Garfield's got to be better than Furiosa. Yeah, see, I saw the TV glow. I saw the TV glow was just terrific.
Yeah, Perp
Disney
loves
is
that movie.
reportedly eyeing Taron Egerton and Austin Butler for the role of Hercules in live-action Hercules film. I would prefer Taron Egerton over Austin Butler, but I'm glad they're making the movie still.
Speaking of Perp, I got to tell you, the movie Perp put on my radar that everybody should watch is Hundreds of Beavers.
Oh, it looks great.
In fact, yeah, I watched it 2 nights ago. It's so good. I rented it, and then no, I didn't rent it. I got the 7-day free trial for this Fandor. You can watch it for free on Fandor, and then you cancel. You don't have to pay for the 7 days. But as soon as I finished watching it, I bought the movie on Fandango at home because it's that good.
Is this where AI should stop putting in Steven Seagal?
I mean,
AI.
I mean, the real Steven Seagal is probably where God should have stopped. That was because that was a mistake. He doesn't make many, but
I don't know. This is very.
He dropped the ball on that one.
He goes to Russia and teaches.
Should these things exist? I mean, would this exist without AI?
Well, the I in AI is for intelligence, and I don't know. I don't see any intelligence here.
I don't know. This post kind of cool.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, Anya Taylor-Joy and Chris Hemsworth show up at a Cinemark, and it's packed. No, it's not.
It was packed because everybody was there to get their exclusive Garfield Cinemark popcorn buckets.
Oh, let's see if I can hear them. Hold on.
What a treat if you just happen to be in the audience, though.
So much. It means the world to us, guys. Thank you. This film was designed to be seen on the big screen, and all of you here tonight, this collective experience, we are so grateful for.
Oh, that's a star selling it like that. Yeah.
Remember when when Brad Pitt was doing that? Remember when Brad Pitt was jetting around the country and surprising people at screenings of World War Z?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, he was like in a single day, he was going all around the country. It was like wild. He was like just flying from city to city to city. He'd run in the theater, take 5 minutes, address the audience, get right out, get to the airport, fly to the next city. It was crazy. He was at my local the theater where you and I saw The Flash. He showed up there.
Oh wow!
To talk to the audience, and I was like 5 minutes away down the road at work, and I'm like, wait a minute. Brad Pitt's like 5 minutes away right now. I jetted over there to say hi to him, and he was gone already. Like, that's how fast.
Maybe you would have liked the movie better if they appeared, Joe.
About this film, we put our heart and soul into it, and the cinema going experience exists because of all of you being here in the cinema. Thank you very much.
Are you guys excited? Well, without further ado, please enjoy our movie, Furiosa, a Mad Max Saga.
Well, she sold it good too. That's nice.
I like Chris Hemsworth. I think he's a tremendous actor.
He's the star of the film. I mean, Anna Taylor-Joy doesn't show up until like an hour into the film.
This makes me sad. This brings a tear to my eye. We used to be a proper country. McDonald's and Blockbuster.
That's a great night. You go, you have McDonald's, then you pick up a Blockbuster movie, you go home and watch.
It says $1 right there too, and they had a play place for the kids. You know.
Did you ever try McDonald's pizza?
No. Oh, that's real. That's real.
Yeah, they had it. Joe, did you ever try it back in the day?
I never had it. I know my friend, the Philly captain, tried the Philly cheesesteak at McDonald's in Orlando, and he said it was truly terrible.
Yeah, you can still get the pizza at that big Orlando McDonald's, apparently.
Yeah, the Orlando McDonald's has like everything.
I never knew there was McPizza.
Yeah,
it looks like Pizza Hut, like pan style.
Okay. Max, guess what? Made a quick appearance, and I saw the TV glow.
What?
Fudgy the Whale. Fudgy the Whale's in the movie.
In what movie?
I saw the TV glow. There's a scene where there's a birthday party and there's a Fudgy the Whale cake.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I'm going to say something about this video.
Yeah, this is the last two things, then we're going to end. But this is Mr. Beast He
Yeah.
has a new show. Do you want to set it up, Voltaire?
So this thing, I was just scrolling through Twitter, and I saw the ad for it, and I watched it, and I watched the whole 26 minutes. It's an interesting video. He puts two people in a room for 100 days, and whatever you think about Mr. Beast, this video is well produced and well done.
Can
And
you imagine, though? The premise is if the other person leaves, you get nothing.
right, 500
You have
grand.
to convince a stranger, a woman stranger. No, I'm just kidding. A man or a woman, depending on they have a man and a woman in here. I think they've just met.
Yeah,
I've tried to play it, but it's for some reason it's not playing here.
they didn't know each other. They
Spinning.
put a man and a woman in there for 100 days. They met for the first time when they unblindfolded them, and if they made it, they got 500 grand to split.
But it doesn't look like there's anything in the room except food.
No, there's nothing. No TV, no nothing. And then Mr.
That would
Beast
be
comes
hard.
in. He comes in like every 10 days, and he goes, if you give up 50,000, I'll give you like a series of the Harry Potter books, for example. I'll give you a Monopoly game for 20.
That's a great idea. That's next level game show. But look, I'm trying to play it. It's just spinning.
That's your internet.
This is a great idea, but this honestly would be torture. 100 days with nothing. This is solitary. Well, this isn't as bad as solitary.
But still, you think about it. You walk out of there with 250 grand after 100 days, even after paying taxes on it. That's a lot of money.
I'd start working out because there's nothing else to do. You can't. There's no books to read.
I kept wondering, are they going to sleep with each other? I mean, you're there with a woman for 100 days, you know. You'd think that, but they didn't show that. But there's cameras all the whole time, and the lights don't go out. It's always bright like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. One of the things he tried to sell them was
this could drive someone crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to be mentally fit to go in here.
Yeah, and I imagine they had doctors on set and stuff like that for mental health things because, it would drive you bananas.
Yeah, very interesting. He's a smart guy.
He's very successful. No matter what you think about him, he's super duper successful.
And on sad news, Morgan Spurlock,
sadly.
the indie director of a huge documentary, Super Size Me. It was very popular.
He popularized what I call pop docs, which are documentaries which are about fun things. And
Well,
and
did it actually help people too, though? They eat healthier.
What happened? Did he die?
This is why. Yes, he did.
He had cancer.
Cancer. Yes.
Oh, geez.
53, I think.
Yeah, 53. 53.
I kind of thought his McDonald's documentary was like a no shit documentary. Like, hey, I'm gonna do a documentary that shows that McDonald's makes you fat. Duh.
No, I actually think it's very good. I actually have the opposite opinion, Joe. I think it really helped people. They don't think about what they're doing to themselves. And then it did change, not that the fast food industry is healthy now, but it changed the fast food industry. You can't get supersized anymore.
They killed supersized.
Yeah, that pissed me off. I want supersized. That's the thing. It's like when I go to McDonald's, I know I'm not eating healthy. So give me what I want. If I want an unhealthy food,
that you're upset about the supersized documentary because they
it's funny that Joe says that because I remember after this documentary came out, I remember going through a McDonald's drive-thru and I'd say I ordered a combo and I go supersized. And they go, we don't do that anymore. I'm like, what? All right.
So Joe,
that
the documentary.
Yeah, that pissed me off. It was like it's like allow me to make my own choices. It's I knew that
this was America.
Yeah, I know it's not healthy. It's like eating at McDonald's at all is not healthy.
No.
So it's like I'm going to McDonald's, I'm eating unhealthy. If I want the option to supersize it, don't take it away from me because some guy did a documentary.
I'm going. Are you in on this? We're gonna do we're gonna start our own business, a new fast food chain called Super Size Me.
Oh my gosh.
There's a place they have one.
Voltaire? You can invest in it.
Supersized burger.
I don't know if it's still in business.
You have to eat there. Super Size Me.
I don't know if it's still in business, but there was a place that had a location in like Vegas.
Combo meal that we guarantee will make you bigger after you eat it.
There was a place that had a location in Vegas and like one in Florida called the Heart Attack Grill.
Yeah, it's very popular.
And, I don't know if because apparently somebody did have a heart attack there. So
So there's YouTube videos like what he got wrong or what he left out from that documentary, go ahead and watch those.
Oh, look at the prices there. Yeah, the prices,
There you go.
inflation is not bad. some nerd keeps telling me. A chicken McGrill.
Wow, that doesn't
I
even
mean, you got a
exist anymore.
premium sandwich for $5 before. Now it's like $12, $13, $14 for a combo meal. It's double, sometimes triple the prices.
Look at that. The McNuggets a la carte are $2.39. Wow.
Yeah.
He made a good documentary on Comic-Con, like San Diego Comic-Con. Do you remember that one? I think Harry Knowles was in it before he got canceled.
I am sorry, everyone, that I kept us here late. Bidenomics.
From an Australian, she even knows.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. And I know this was the Power Hour was gone into 2 hours, but it was a Friday night. Maybe we break the rules every once in a while.
See, you can't complain about me being here. You were already past an hour.
Well,
Yeah,
I still can complain about you being here, but I can't help it though, Joe, because I like you.
See, it's the Power Hour, but when you get into the second hour, it's more hours, more powers.
Yeah,
that's fair.
All right, so Voltaire does have to take us out because he does it in such a great way. Go ahead, Voltaire.
Good night and good luck, everyone.